Welcome to your Discourse Syndicate's FN Hangout. It's your Friday night hangout. This is where you come and do it. The link is in the Twitter sphere. Let me put it in the chat. Run a little behind this evening. Sorry, folks, but life gets in the way. Let's see here. Boom. There's the link. So for those of you who don't know, that link is for you to come join the stream. Only stream I know of in all of crypto, in all of YouTube maybe, that just lets anybody come on and stream. My root beer, because everybody knows Captain can't drink rum. So anyway, cool. Got guests showing up. Guests, hold on 1 minute. I'm going to say a few things, say hello to some folks, and then I'm going to bring you all up because it's going to be a cool freaking night. Things are getting really, really exciting this week. Richard's been tweeting. I'm all freaking fired up. Anyway, let's hopefully have some good content tonight. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat. T-Bird, my Twitter bud. Let's effing go. Yes, baby. Let's effing go. Hex Glenn, welcome. Sandy Beach, my lady. Hex Crypto Surfer, 369. Man, I can't wait till it warms up a little bit so I can get back in the water. I'm a fair-weathered surfer. Sorry. Don't like the cold stuff, even with a sweatsuit and everything. But anyway, Elliot, let's see. Pulse Man, Free Gobbler, Captain RG3 rules. Enjoying the pump back up. Yes, enjoying the pump back up for sure. And thank you. You rule. Hex Smurfer. Oh man, these freaking names, man. You guys and your names, the names. Yes, I think we're supposed to not be smurfing out there, but anyway. Child, I think he might be joining us this evening. I think I see him in the green room. Always love having some of the thoughts in here. Doorsy. Doorsy. How you doing? You going to make it tonight? Yep. Let's see. And who else? Paladin. Z. Better than running a big behind. Yeah. The behind is shrinking. The captain is getting fit. Yes. Feeling good. Feeling real good. The belly is going down, getting ready for that cruise gut. How many of you are getting ready your cruise gut? April's going to kind of kick off the springtime cruise. Yeah, down the Caribbean. Got to be looking good at the pool. Got to be looking good. We got a guy named Lawrence in here. I think I know who that is. Plus he called me Cappy. Hexander, what's going on? Captain, good evening to you. Thank you. Thank you. Diraj, hey, what's up, Captain? You're here if I need tech support, I'll give you a call. But first, I promise I will unplug my router before I call you. Crypto Millionaires with Corey Geary, how you doing? Who else is in here? Look at you guys. Hex Hoddle, hey. Oh, look at it. It's filling up. We're getting everybody coming in here tonight. Kool-Aid's got two accounts in here. Max, how you doing? He looks like he's coming in to join us again too. MJ Money, how you doing? Hey, GRC, how you doing, buddy? Borrowed Aliens, wow, man. What's up, bro? Haven't seen you for a while. Hey, what that? I don't know what all that stuff is. And then who else is in here? Come get me, aliens. Can't stop headbanging, right? Nothing like a good headbang. But I'm not just a rocker. Like, all this last week, like on my trip to Vegas, I had Spotify and Pandora. It was all about Tupac. I love me some Pac, man. So I was just like all weekend, just, man, what a freaking brilliant dude that was, man. Shame they always get the good ones, man. We always lose the good ones. Love me some Pac, man. That was like, it's my boy. Wait a minute. What is this? What did I see? Wait, Richard just tweeted something. They might have just screwed us all up here. Let's see. What did Richard just tweet, everybody? Richard just said 3 minutes. Oh, 3 minutes ago. I thought it said 3 minutes to go. I'm like, what the heck is he doing? Let's see. 3 minutes ago. Following confirmation at the end of today that the wires initiated on Thursday to remove balances were not yet processed. 3.3 billion of the 40 billion of USDCs we reserve remain in SVB on Circle. Okay, so something just happened a few minutes ago with stablecoin. But there's been some big buys going in the last hour. I think I see it like a 2 million hex buy and a 3 million hex buy. Looking nice. Got some gobbling going on out there. Some gobbling. Oh, wait a minute. Is there also an event? Let's see. Woo! Wow. I just got a highest of stakes update too. Gosh, they don't let me say anything about that, but highest of stakes. Got some good stuff going on over there too. There is some movement. There is some movement in the highest of stakes launch. So that's very, very cool. Where else are we at? Okay. All done. I wanted to say that the title tonight was that Richard Hart has saved crypto. And that all stems from when about 2018, beginning right after the big dump, after Richard called the top, the Bitcoin top, once again, his amazing call. I decided that I was getting out of crypto. I was done. I was cashing it all out and getting my money, what was left of it, out of crypto, and not going to have anything to do with all of you fools, idiots, hucksters, shucksters, PT Barnums, rip-off artists. You guys were a bunch of fools as far as I was concerned. I didn't want no part of it because I was turning into one of you guys and I wanted out. But that crazy little man in the top hat had a couple of intelligent things today to say. And I thought, well, maybe there's one guy left. Maybe there's one more left in crypto that might be worth a shit, because I hated Richard for a moment there. And it wasn't because of Richard. It was because of what he called. And it wasn't him that made it happen. He just knew what was happening. But my mind didn't register that at first. So I understand how these maxis and all these people hate Richard, but they just let that hate fester and keep going. And they don't know why they hate him. They just do. But somewhere in my mind, I realized that I was wrong and that Richard had made a good call and that that's the guy that I should be listening to. And it wasn't my anger at crypto, wasn't my anger at Richard. So it was really Richard who saved me from leaving. And I think, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, maybe not so humble, Richard has saved crypto. Because if it wasn't for him, we'd be going into this next cycle with what? Hopes that maybe some of these chains might quit shutting themselves down. The hopes that Ethereum might unfuck itself. The hopes that maybe we might get some smart contracts on another crypto out there that maybe wants to be a big player. That was what I was going to be hoping for. Could you imagine if it wasn't for Richard? That's the shit that we'd be hoping for. That's really what we'd be hoping for, is some bullshit like that. So, in my opinion, Richard Hart has saved crypto. He's made it worth being in. All those other people that are chasing all those hopium dreams that I just laid out there, they're fools. That is a ship of fools out there. But this is the DeFi crypto armada. That's what we are. We are going to go out and we are going to raid the 7 seas. We are going to raid the world and show them what true DeFi is by taking Richard Hart's products to them and shoving it down their throats. That's what we're going to do. So this tour that I'm kicking off, that I'm going to be speaking at, that I'm going to go and talk to the world. Let's just say we're going to start in the United States, but we don't know where we're going to end up with. But we are going to be on the DeFi live tour. RG3, the captain, and whoever else may join me along the way. I'm going out and I'm going to start onboarding people, because the last couple of weeks of onboarding that I did was just phenomenal. Getting out there, shaking babies and kissing hands, that was just too much fun. Too much fun, and it was too successful. People just were all over it. We sold massive amounts of hardware wallets to people, getting them into crypto. We sold a lot of Hex. We got people all fired up for Pulse and PulseX and what's coming. So, hey, we're going to take it on the road and we're going to go around the country. I know that it's been done once before, but I think I'm going to add something to it. And we're going to show people what true DeFi is with the DeFi live tour. So with that, welcome everybody. Welcome to Discourse Syndicate. This is your show. You can come join us. I'm going to throw the link in the chat one more time. And thank you to all of you here if I didn't say anything. Sandy says, RG, any information on the tour? So we just had our first really big meeting with all the team. And I'm glad to say that I'm going to announce the members of the team. And it is freaking truly a DeFi dream team. At the helm, the lady that's going to be running the whole show is going to be Black Hexican. For those of you who know her, she helped with the Crypto Spa Book tour, and she's also set up the Hex Cruise. She is an amazing producer, programmer, leader, and with her in front of this thing, even the captain can't screw it up. Then out there in the field, tearing it up, helping me get the event set up, being there, smiling in all your faces, shaking your hands and kissing your babies, is going to be a wild SJ and her tour bus. Actually, it's going to be the rolling pirate ship that she's going to be taking from city to city, town to town, there for you all, serving Hexicans and all of their onboards. We're going to help onboard people into DeFi and show them what it truly is. And then behind the scenes, working the controls, the master himself, Bullish Ox, is going to be in there providing content and doing what. And then we have a whole nother list of support. My good buddy Crypto Kool-Aid is going to be in there helping us putting some really cool content together with his amazing abilities to make video games and helping us make stuff look really, really cool. So that's what's going on, Sandy. That's what the tour is going to start looking like. We have some dates we're thinking about, but we're going to we're probably going to kick it off right around the time of the cruise. Sailing the ship down the Caribbean. So we're kick it off around there, and then boom, we're just going to go into it and start hitting town to town to town to town to town. So know that this is going to be a participation event. So those of you Hexicans who want to get involved, I would suggest that if you know myself, SJ, or Black Hexan or Bullish, you can DM us. We're going to be looking for locations, venues, some help. Some volunteer help to come and help us set up the event and do all this stuff. If you've got a good idea for a place to do it, and we're going to go where the people are. So I don't want to put anybody out, but we're going to do it once a month. We're going to be out once a month. And so we're going to be very specific about the events and venues that we do choose. We want to go where the most population, where we can touch the most people. And so that's how it's going to work. So DM us and we'll gladly take your ideas and suggestions. So with that, we've got a whole lineup of people I'm going to bring on board. First one to the helm. Welcome aboard, Das Child. Welcome aboard, SJ. The lovely SJ. Welcome, my lady. Thank you for coming on to the show. Max, what's happening, bud? Max has been joining us the last few weeks in a row now. Look at this, becoming a regular. And of course, the brain himself, the Galaxy freaking mastermind, Crypto Kool-Aid, his office / apartment / rave /
whatever it is.
Cat
hotel
castle.
/
The cat castle. That's what it really is. Own that space.
I am like
keys to it.
definitely allergic.
I also have keys to my cat castle. But
I'm definitely allergic to cats, and when I go to his house, I have to in and out the door, try and get enough air because it's just I can't do it. Him and
I'm so fucking excited for you and SJ to rule the tour. You don't have no idea how my heart bleeds because the captain brought me out. Like back when I was game dev, what the fucker, but I was captain's fucking camera tech. And then SJ came on as my second general, Chris Side Effects and SJ, and they slayed. And it makes the whole point and why blue collar, white collar, no collar, you come in and you get in where you fit in.
You're going to make me cry again. Be the third time today.
He makes me cry all the time. Like it's just like
actually he wags his finger at me and says, "Shut the fuck up." I don't understand.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, there is no experience like you have to do it once in your life. You have to get in a car and drive with the crypto Kool-Aid for about 3 hours and just sit
It
there
was like
and
16. It was
There's
like
nothing
16,
like it.
Cappy. How'd
There's
everything go
nothing-
today with the things we can't talk about? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's great.
Good.
All right. So, and welcome everybody out. How's you doing, Thos? How's it going, buddy?
What's up, brother? How you feeling?
I am feeling fabulous.
Sir Lawrence, hello. Sarah Joy, hello. Max Yasbin. Did you get up on your street lingo this week, Max? I can't be giving you what every street terminology is during the shows like last week, my friend.
Come on, this is a probation period.
Did you
You
go
gotta
on the
help me
Urban
out here.
Dictionary and find out what yayo is?
I don't know what that one is. Yeah.
Oh Lord, you're the AO guy. Oh Lord, Jesus Christ.
It came up in conversation. I was not the one who fertilized that one.
No. So
I merely
the trick
harvested
is,
it.
and like SJ has known me for 10 years, and I've been using this quote for 20 years. It's not peer pressure; it's just your turn. But always survive, never get caught. You need to have both of the paradigms on how you get fucking down. By the way, SJ, nice hair. I don't think.
I haven't complimented on her beautiful hair.
Like
See,
fucking 7 years.
I love her multicolored pulse chain hair and hex hair that she has. So she's absolutely gorgeous like that. But man,
It's
do I
my
love
pirate
her.
look, Captain. Come on.
Oh,
There you go. There you
yeah,
go.
but then none of them know me how we
It
swing
does,
dance
it
back
does,
in the Pulse days over at Plush. We slayed gal in the old drum and bass days, and it reminds you of your old look. But God, I love your neon.
I think I've only had bangs one other time. I don't
Really?
do bangs very often. Yeah,
Me too.
but
When you bring the
Take
bus
off your
over-
hat for us.
when you bring the bus over to my place, you're like close now, aren't you? Like a couple weeks.
no. Oh, yeah, close. I mean, I'm gonna be in Arizona for
Mm.
a couple weeks, beginning of April,
Mm.
and then as soon as everything's done in Arizona, I'll be sailing on your way. Sailing
Well,
on
what we'll do is
on
we'll
down to
put
the coast.
your cat in the guest bedroom, my cat's in my bedroom, and then we'll make that like vacuum the stuff so that way the Cappy can come, and then from there it'll all be cat friendly for our favorite fucking pirate.
Yar.
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 Yeah.
So what's happening, Max?
Oh, just catching up on Facebook posts and emails.
Glad
That's
you
it.
joined us.
Glad to be here.
Hang out at the FN Hangout while I'm doing Facebook and emails.
I just
So
got a
people are
new
responding to
Facebook
me.
account, man.
It's nice.
I had gotten rid of that because I was tired of being the irresistible force against the immovable object in arguments for years. So I just was done. I was done with Facebook. I recently learned that the Facebook marketplace supplanted Craigslist for the place to sell shit.
Yeah,
I
man.
was like, damn it, man. I got rid of my Facebook account. So now I've had to start a whole new Facebook
Dude,
account just so I
you-
can sell
you-
shit.
Put something on Facebook and it's gone, bro.
Yeah.
It's like
Mhm.
it's gone. Now I don't use it myself, but the old lady, she, I say, hey, we got to get rid of this thing because I want to put a sauna now.
I got a new account. I don't have any friends. You guys want to be my Facebook friends? so I can
You know
sell
what you
shit?
do, bro? You get on the local Facebook page for your town.
There you go.
And that's where you get all your hookups and that's where you post your stuff and bam, man, it's like wham. So whatever your town is, you get on the Facebook page for your local town and
There you go.
everyone's on there.
The other
I'd like
funny
to
thing,
make a
Cappy, is
point.
that Yahoo Finance technically has the same actual aggregator for Coin Paprika, which lists things accurately, but yet they use Coin Market Crap or Con Market Crap as their aggregator. Wild.
So real quick, before we go down that rabbit hole, to Captain's point, I love the idea of a buy nothing project. I found it through Facebook first, and that for me, I deleted Facebook a while back. I have things that post to, or I deleted the app. I have things that post to it, but I want to try and do this within our community where we have a running list and people will post what they're giving away, what they don't need, and people will post what it is that they're looking for.
No,
You're
a
consistent.
barter page, huh?
You brought this
Not
up
so
to me
much
DLive,
last
I
time.
do.
bartering, but
Essentially.
it's called the Buy Nothing Project, and we're just
Yeah.
gonna turn it into
SJ,
Nice.
you
Some
brought
things
this
in the
up to me
community.
last year. I don't know if you remember. And you were like, you guys probably don't even have that around. I was like, on the East Coast, we don't have that. But
I
apparently they have it
probably
more
just
out there.
picked something up or dropped something off. Yeah.
Yeah,
was
well,
probably running
you're
around.
consistent, if anything, because I remember you bringing that up over a year ago to me.
Well, the great thing about
she's my
that
general.
project too is the fact that it as and if, right? Because yes, OPSEC, right? But as you continue to grow this project, you have sectors, right? You have like smaller and smaller groups of people that, for example, in a couple years ago, there was what happened in Austin called Snowvid, which just recently we had another icing, and things break in Texas. When it gets cold here, things
In
don't know
Austin.
what to do. In Austin specifically, yes.
In Austin, correct.
Things just fall, everything falls apart. Nobody goes to work. It's ridiculous. And during that time, the community was able to come together a lot because of the Buy Nothing project, because people knew, who was in their vicinity, and they were able to take care of one another. And that's
Cool. They need that.
Hexicans.
Yep.
I remember they had that big
atheist
freeze a
version of
couple years
church,
ago.
Or what?
Several times. Anytime it ever got cold in fucking Texas, everything died because due to how their infrastructure works. And that's the problem, is their infrastructure is run by a bad infrastructure of a bucket on top of their head. It's a glass ceiling, just like student loans, just like healthcare and all the rest of that.
Yeah. Even the plants don't know how to handle it. You should see piles and piles and piles and piles of tree branches just broken. Everything's snapped.
Why not start this at a group that's already quite large, like at a church?
Yeah, but churches are bad
you
because
can.
Some of
churches
us
have their
can't
own.
go into a church.
I said that
Melting.
forever. We should make our own.
Yeah,
church.
like,
Are you
I
going to
get
light on
real-
fire or what?
Well, I drive by, I get hot.
Yeah, I nailed it.
So, hey, check this out. The cruise is going to be epic. Eshtar, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. That's why I really put it up there, because it's.
I mean, the
Eshtar.
fact that the captain has the
Cruise
captain
is
fucking
epic.
plot on the captain's cruise makes my heart happy. 3 years, motherfucker, that I've been your behind the scenes guy. The fact that you have a captain's outfit on the captain's cruise makes my goddamn heart happy. It's
We're
serendipitous.
gonna go across the country and take DeFi to people.
Yeah, it's a good thing, sir. It's a good thing.
Oh, look at this. RG3 giving tips on Facebook hookups. Yeah, no, not
It's
messing around with Facebook.
CaptainOnlyFans.com.
Captain OnlyFans. I need to
Were
set
you
up
in the
an
Pirates movie? I think the captain made a cameo.
no.
Right,
so much.
that was a
It's
double.
movie.
I said,
If you
oh,
understand
speaking
that
of
meme-
movies, ooh, look at that. Somebody sold a bunch of Hex.
Really?
We can lettuce-handed bastard you. Look at that. $314,000 worth of Hex just sold. Quick, the movie before I forget. Big movement is all I can say. But thank you for asking. A lot of you have asked already, but yes, the movie is moving along very well. Let's see real quick. I want
Who
to
are
say
these
something.
dipshits selling Hex right now? My God. Why?
Hey, everybody has their reasons, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a reason, and it's a good
It's
one.
called over leveraged and getting wrecked in something else.
Well, everybody's got their thing, man. Everybody's got their thing. We never know. I mean, what if that just saved somebody's life, right?
Oh,
We'd all be like,
okay,
man,
yeah.
that was awesome.
Oh, you just
That
went
was
for the
awesome."
heartstrings, for the empathy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
we
never
don't know the
you never know the
circumstances.
situation of the person that sold. I mean, what if
Oh
You
my
know-
God! Listen to this fucking affirmed Buddhist over here talking.
can you?
today.
But
Okay.
can you? I mean, oh look, and somebody just bought the same amount, another 3,300,000 Hex. So it
Boom.
was a swap out.
Little bot action.
Yeah, but you know what? That's just me. That's my nature, I guess. Sometimes I just err on the side of being the penultimate optimist, and just hoping that on the other end of it, it wasn't just some weak-handed lettuce bitch that did that, trying to screw us all up, but a man who is a single dad that had a kid that was sick that needed to pay the medical bills so that they keep the lights on.
Oh, you got me. Damn it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why you brought me out of the woodwork, Cappy. It's like that's exactly who you are. You're blue collar.
Because it could just as well be that, right? So do we sit here and like gut ourselves and get pissed off and like, there's some son of a bitch out there that really just, I want to kick his ass and I hate him. And then, but on the other side of it, what if it was that other situation? Man, we'd feel like such a jerk if like that, we met that person and that was their story.
I'm always talking about it more from the position of, I mean, I've always been watching this community for sell downs in terms of manipulation moves and then attack vectors on Hex, of which there are so very few. The community being one. Richard's bulletproof, the code's immutable. You know what I'm saying? But I've always been sensitive to that, being here some years. Everybody knows that about me. So when I look at these moves, the timing of them is sometimes just like, you know, like, I don't know.
And that's why, because it's just, it's humans, you know, doing human things and for their own reasons.
Animals.
Dirty animals, you know. But you know what, Thaw? In your defense of what you said, 90% chance you're right and I'm wrong. But there is that 10% that I'd like to err on that side of.
Well, and you know what, Cap? Not for nothing. From a humanist standpoint, your way of seeing it is probably worth it, because there's really no reason to cast aspersions in the off chance that it is somebody rightly motivated, right? Even if we're going to miss the 9 assholes, you don't want to, you know, destroy the one person,
the one good person. See, that's the travesty of life. Like,
oh yeah,
you see that, you know, that 1% good person, that really good do-gooder that gets jacked by the system. Like, for instance, and here's something that's it's like one of the most controversial issues on the planet. And this is where I err on that side of this thing, is the death penalty. Now, granted, if somebody was to hurt one of my family members in a way that caused grave bodily harm, death, whatever, they're getting it. I'm sorry. It's going to be captain's justice. However, for the system to take people and take their life, the system, the government that we all rail against, for the system to take somebody's life. Look, we know for a fact that there are people that have been executed by the system that were absolutely innocent. We know that for a fact. So that one person's life, that one family, that whole destruction of that family was because the system was wrong. So if we have a system that can be wrong 1% of the time and hurt and kill and destroy a family of one person, I think that system needs to be abolished, that it's wrong. But that's just me. And that's one of those very controversial issues. And that's how I look at it. Because if you were in that seat, you would damn sure wish that the death penalty wasn't. It's like, I didn't fucking do it. And I'm going to sit in this chair and get electrocuted right now. My whole family has to watch. And my whole family has to be, you know, subjected to this. System doesn't work at that point, and it needs to be abolished. So anyway, that's just my little stupid little opinion on it.
Does that apply to the military?
What's that?
Does that apply to the military?
What do you mean?
Well, you said that even if 1% of people in the justice system are unfairly executed, what about the people who are subject to whatever militaries?
To collateral damage, you mean?
No, not just collateral damage, like invading other countries. And
I'm totally against all that. Now, I stood on the line and put myself up for that. And as a young man, thought that was the way to do it. I've since changed my opinion on how we should handle those types of issues, but that's because I'm an old man and I don't make the decisions anymore. But I was part of that system. I was part of it. Like whatever they told me to kill and eat and have sex with, that's what I was going to do. And in whatever order. Well,
it's also inflation. Again, at the end of the day, it's all the same window of what happens with everything as it inflates forward. So it can be that. Yeah.
So, but I have pivoted on a lot of things. You know, I was very pro death penalty for a long time until my mind started to change on how things operate and function in the world and how valuable life has become for me. You know, as time goes on, as you get older, man, you start value. Like when I was a young man, I didn't think there was tomorrow. Like I was living and sometimes it was hour by hour, you know, like I did not care. What's that say? Where's kinetics? Need to thank him for, did I accidentally put that up there? Or did somebody else put that up there? Where'd that come from? I must.
Do you know that you can actually MRI a person's brain?
That's why I came in and there was no. You could.
Hold on, wait. Max just said something. What was that, Max?
You can actually MRI a person's brain and figure out what they're thinking, like what images they're seeing. I think that occurred a few years ago. So I forget her name, Mary Lou Jepson. She told about this study where they MRI'd a person's brain for about 10 hours, and then they asked the person to think about like a certain image, like a bird or something, and then they used some ML technique to figure out like what their brain was to convert the brain waves into an image. So I don't know if they actually showed them the image, but oh, is that your image? Yeah. How do you know? Okay, but interesting. Maybe you could use it on death row penalty people. Sorry, death row. Yeah, death row people.
But if it doesn't work one time, then it's like it's a bad system in my opinion. Because I wouldn't want to be the person that's that 1% that has to get screwed by the system.
What about the other people who are benefiting from the system? You don't see them, complaining.
But what's the benefit of killing somebody? Period.
Would you shoot an intruder if they were harming your family?
Of course, but I'm saying, what's the benefit of it? What's the benefit of it? Without a question, I would. I mean, well, I'm not going to pick them up, but
you're asking the question though, and yet you don't have an answer.
No, I'll take
of course.
Answer. What if it's
because human nature. Now, I can think something and react differently. Like, look at Richard. Richard talks about health and eating right. And look at him. He doesn't think about health and eating right when he sticks stuff in his maw. He doesn't. And that's just the fact of the matter. I mean, we can talk and say and think whatever we want.
Yeah, real time application versus the
real time application is different. Right. And just like in a real gunfight, everybody's a tough guy. Everybody's, you can go out and train and but when the bullets are flying and, you've been taught how to, snap in and seek out and destroy your enemy and aim in and all this other stuff and and make efficient. But when the shit starts going down, people are in holes with their guns out here like this going, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's a whole different story. You're out on the range. Everybody's all badass. But then when shit goes down, it's fuck. It's a whole different story,
Everyone has cognitive biases, and these affect people in many different ways. In some cases it could be related to food, and in other cases it could be related to bravery. And if you knew the around 200 cognitive biases, you might not make the same decisions. But we're not actually aware of them.
And this is I'm sorry, this is not true, Frosty Dog. The benefit of capital punishment is also it doesn't deter murder. It doesn't. 100%.
No, I agree with
it does not deter murder.
They've looked at that closely.
It does not deter it at all. And you say,
that's another
let me throw this other controversial issue out there because people are going to hate me for this one. Because then on this side of this the fence,
who brought this up?
Abortion. If one innocent baby could be saved.
It's Friday.
But isn't Frosty Dog the surfer?
I am like, no. Just kill babies when you want. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
No. If it's yours, preterm or whatever,
grind them up, put them in a syringe, and put them on my neck so that I can get my neck.
My back can feel better. Amen.
He's like Christopher Reeve in South Park. He just, took the baby and drank it up.
Okay. So we're going to take a break and talk about something really exciting. Since this young lady's a guest with me, I'm going to show this stuff off. This is our OG Schmyrus and Hex Luther, who everybody knows.
To the right,
this is my co-panelist right now. This is Wild. Sarah Joy's design, her original shirt. Let me give you guys some proper lighting here. But this is her shirt with 369, and it's freaking badass. It's so badass that I got one for my daughter. No, the scoop neck is not for Thothschild, but isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
I love it.
It's
and
beautiful.
Then this is the one for my show.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Egyptian theme.
Yeah. Yeah. With a little graffiti stuff.
Egyptian lover.
I got, yeah, good song. I got this for my daughter, SJ, and she's a toothpick of the age of 10. And this is a lady small. She's not fitting into this for probably about 6 or 7 years. So,
good investment, right?
Yeah, it's an investment. There you go.
Long term.
Bye, Frosty. Bye, buddy. See you, bud. Sorry. You were offended.
He would rather talk about abortion than exciting new Hexican companies and efforts. Okay, gotcha.
We've got some cool stuff coming down the pipe.
Yeah,
These
we
are
do.
bulletproof. Like I say in my description with the 10% off coupon there, this is like the heaviest gauge material with really thick silk screening. These shirts are, and I think we should be proud of Luther and Schmeiris and their effort. Well done, guys. Let's keep them going. Apparently, they're doing some shirts for the cruise as well, I think. So you might be stepping
Oh, so
into
those are the cruise shirts
Yeah,
that's
we got
last
them
I
already.
heard they were doing that.
that they're doing. Okay.
Yeah, man.
And also, people have suffered quite a lot of trauma. It's kind of hard to understand how they, behave the way that they do if you're not aware of that trauma.
What, in t-shirts?
Yes,
Okay.
they don't have enough T-shirts. They don't
Yeah,
have
but-
enough T-shares.
Yeah,
They need
but
some more
Max, the whole
t-shirts.
thing is about the glass ceiling.
I
Hey,
was
we need
trying-
a t-shirt t-share.
I
Yeah,
was
there you
trying
go.
to find my other t-shirt that's by the
t-shirt.
369 group. I just wanted to echo what Thoughts just said about the quality of these shirts, because it is it's a price tag, right, for these shirts. But I have been wearing this Netflix one. It says hex.com and chill.
Yeah,
It's
I saw
like
you in
the
that one,
Netflix
actually. A
font,
picture
yeah.
of you.
And it has it. I've washed it several times. Not a single thing is out of place or messed up, or nothing's coming off. It's
Yeah,
really
these
they
aren't
are
peeling.
super high quality.
It's
And
proper
it's like
production. That's what it is.
quad seam stitching.
Oh.
Sorry to interrupt you, but it's like quad seam stitching. It's
Yep.
nuts.
Proper production.
Yeah, it's good stuff. That's all.
Dorsey
I
got
just
himself
wanted to-
blocked already? What the hell did he say?
He's calling someone. I'm not sure who.
Who?
Probably an important phone call.
We are not worthy
He might
to
be
hear it.
getting-
No. I've actually done this 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
now. And so I was
We
time
got
traveling,
this.
which if you know me, which as Chase known me for 10 goddamn years, I'll forget what day it is. I just know what I need to deliver in 24 hours. And so I'll have a thing I need to do, and I'll call Cap, and he's like, "Yeah, it's Friday," and I'm like, "I thought it was Wednesday." Sorry.
hey guys, I got to point this out. King ubiquitously landed another huge interview for the
But
community.
yeah, that's what the producer does. He
Yeah,
was supposed to stay at my place in LA, but he did not. He wants to stay with his mom, and that's fine. But his ass can stay at my place any day. Just
Oh,
like
but Mama's
again,
gonna take care of
SJ
him,
had to
though.
keep in my house.
well,
and he
so
wants
fresh
to
and so
happy.
King just landed this Greg Manarino, who is often on with what's old boy's name? God, I can't remember. Oh my God, it's totally slipping me right now.
Sorry,
Captain.
that was DCC just called me, and he
Oh,
usually calls me
word.
during the FN Hangout. So there's a little news going on. The USDC, I guess, was pegged to some of those banks that just went illiquid, and
Silver
right now
Bank
we're
or whatever
seeing,
it was.
we're losing some percentages. USDC's at like 97.
Yeah,
cents
everybody
right
in the
now.
chat's been posting that here.
Yeah, so it's a little thing going on.
Good, I already converted my USDC to Hex before that.
It's amazing.
So the problem with DAI is actually interesting, but because it's been usurped by all the others, and then Maker isn't really a DAO because 52% of it is by 4 people. But we can look at how this stuff is and then prep our checker game to get into chess. I'm based on that.
Gerald
I've got some-
Salente. Gerald Salente is the name I forgot.
Oh,
Thank you,
that's
King.
what
Sorry.
Richard was tweeting about. Circle. That was what he
Mhm,
tweeted just
yeah.
now.
Tether is up. USDT
I
is the
bet.
only one that's
I bet.
Well,
I heard they
TUSD is
bonded.
interesting too. I mean, that's where Stoke's going to win with his stuff because it's buy, burn, input, output, buy, burn. Brilliant.
Oh wait, we got another guest in here. I'm sorry, bro. Hex Deck, what's up, dude?
My boy.
I didn't see you in there.
Hey, what's going on? Sorry,
you
the
were
audio.
lurking in the shadows.
I was in the chat. I'm up at the property, so my internet's not that great, so I'm just gonna go with the avatar. Sorry if the voice quality. I don't have a microphone up here yet, but I just want to jump in. I can only stick around for like 35 minutes, but I just wanted to say hi to everyone. And you have such an auspicious crew here between Sarah Joy and Thoughts Child, Crypto Kool-Aid, Max. You know, that's awesome. And always good to see you, Captain.
Oh, always good to see you, Hex Deck. Hey, real quick on the USDC thing. So my preference is True USD. I like that platform.
Okay.
And if you're looking for something, there's a reason why. The reason why is because they are an escrow house. Basically, when you transfer crypto into your True USD and into your bank, the bank sees it as an escrow payment, and it doesn't see it as a crypto payment, like when you're running through Gemini or Coinbase or anything else.
Correct.
So that's why I use True USD, and it seems to be
Nice.
pegged well. It's always
And
pegged
make
really
sure
well.
you know what you're sending. It's very, very, very important because they are very, very particular.
They're very particular. I need to teach this lesson too because it was a very expensive lesson. I want to teach it to people. The captain himself accidentally sent USDC to his True USD wallet and lost it all. And it was a significant amount of money. And it was an ugly time. And it made me, it turned my stomach upside down and made me want to puke. And it was a
let me interject.
big amount of money.
One of
And
our
it's gone
favorite
forever.
onboards did the same damn thing with their pulse sacrifice. I won't say which one it was. It means that you need to always pay
Double
attention.
check. Always
Always
pay
double
attention to
check.
what you're doing.
And
And
in
that's
fact,
what
you
it
should-
was. I wasn't paying attention. It was late at night. I wanted to make the damn move from I had a bunch of stable coin that I wanted to get out, and I didn't transfer it into True USD. I sent the USDC. And
Always send
I
a
wrote
stinger.
letters and called and wrote my congressman and everything, and it didn't work. Couldn't get anything.
Oh, they never help out.
Yeah.
A lot of good.
Always
that
send a
did.
stinger, basically. It doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how smart you are, doesn't know anything. That minutia will get you. Always send a stinger and wait for that to hit. And
Yes.
then always pay attention. And if you can, have someone as a sanity check. You know, I'm a Wild SH sanity check, the Cappy sanity check, and a whole bunch of other people's sanity checks. Always have a sanity check just to double check, just to make sure. And that's what our community is the most important thing about. We have people that will sanity check you for free. We don't give a fuck about anything that you are okay, that you and your family are okay, that you will do well and be okay. And that is the most important epoch of our community is always double check.
DAI is 95 cents too. Woo, we got some stable coins, unstabling. We got some unstable and stable coins out there. I want to say hi to somebody in the chat. My buddy, Side Effects. Rooting for you, brother. Rooting for you, man.
Same.
Did
All right.
Cappy, when Side Effects and SJ actually get all of us in person, it'll be like, how long has it been, love? 6 years? 7 years?
The three of us?
Yeah, at least 6.
Yeah.
At least 6 at this point.
I
Yeah.
don't get it. Where are you
Doing
rooting for him for?
It'll be the
What's
horse.
that? He's just my friend. He's my
Oh,
friend.
okay.
Yeah, I'll just
Say
say
you're
I
right.
look forward to meeting you guys for the next 6 years. I mean, you know, that'll put us at 14 before the 15, right?
Hey, so we're taking a tour on the road, SJ and myself. So you're gonna come get to meet us if you show up at one of the tour events. Those will
right.
be announced really soon. And probably like the kickoff is going to be right around the Hex Cruise. So we might be doing something out there in that area. So that's our initial plans, but we'll see. We'll be rolling that out over the next week. We did a lot of work today on that, and we're getting ready to put it all down on paper and get it out in front of everybody. And
Yeah.
of course, anybody's got suggestions or some tour dates that they'd like to see us at, we're open to it. So DM us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might do a fly out to one of your small group meetups. I'm not doing any big events for the next 2 years. So that's just my personal decision. I'm focused on some stuff. And, but I look forward to still catching up with my fellow Hexicans.
I mean, Dex, if you do anything
Not
on the
sure.
LA side, you come stay with me directly. You clearly have my cell phone number, so just come stay with me directly. As SJ has a key to my place and Cappy eventually needs a key to my place, you just come stay with me directly for doing the LA run.
No, I'll give you definitely. You're not far. You know, Montana's not far from LA.
Yep.
Montana's not far from LA.
Montana from the hill goes running
In the
under
grand
bridge.
scheme of the
If you
world.
could take a few
think
people
I'm
back, I
moving
think they
to
got tired of
Montana.
winter around
look. Oh, wait.
You know of any,
Sandy
like-
Gonna
announcing
raise
a
me up for
93
Frostbolt.
cent USDC.
Are they
Take
really
it
happening?
all.
Hold on,
Ouch.
let me look.
That is happening.
Mhm.
Sandy would
So glad I
not
got into Hex.
blow smoke up our skirts.
I'm like,
It's going to be a
day
bank
early.
run now. Watch. Now that it's where it's at, it's a bank run, guys.
It's
You know-
actually the interesting focal push is what this happens to attack DeFi, to attack staking, to
Buy a
push-
bunch of it when it hits the bottom.
But I mean, Hex is up 20% in 24 hours off of nowhere. I haven't looked.
Nice.
I've been a little bit sick.
yeah, but the USDC and Hex are liquidity bonded. Aren't they?
Yeah, and if one can push the other side, if the other one moves to the other side, that's bonded liquidity.
It's bonded. That's how it works.
Correct.
It's the seesaw effect.
Hey, I had to write Sunday.
It's the
Funny
fat
for you
kid,
to
skinny
understand
kid
that.
seesaw effect.
Captain had to take a 16-hour car ride to make me like, I can talk seesaws for days now, bitches. So
Nice. That's actually a super large feat. I've known
Interesting
him I've known him for 10 years, man, and still
That's like a
processing
superpower.
what that man says. Yeah.
That's an interesting
When I
concept.
saw
Maybe
that,
USDC is just the true price.
Seabird seems to report we're bouncing back up here. So.
Yeah, we are. We're at 6.6 right now.
Nice.
When I saw that the banks failed, like Silicon Valley Bank, and there was some other one, I'm like, all right, bail-ins are coming, and I might not be able to use my money, so I might as well pay off my loans. So I paid off all my loans today. I don't mean crypto loans; I mean personal student debt. So it's like,
Wow.
Congrats.
rather
That's
just
got to be a
have
good
no debt.
feeling.
yeah, it was
What
nice.
a great feeling, right?
how
Well,
much
I mean, I
money you
wanted
got
to just
do you
collect
have
the
now?
interest, right? Because I was getting 4.5%. So, but I'm like, it's not worth it. I'd rather just pay it all off and have some cash and, a little bit of money in the bank and be more fiscally conservative.
Sure, as you should, because student loan debt is the ultimate Ponzi.
Oh,
How much debt did you have?
When I graduated, I had 30K, and I'm not going to say how much I paid.
I'll tell you how much I had. I have $247,000 in student loan debt. I've been paying $1,500 a month for 12 years, and that's just interest.
Damn. What'd you get a degree in?
A BFA in the most expensive animation college in the world. Hence, I'm the pixel pusher of our community.
I got a degree in
worth it?
pimp.
Was it worth it?
I mean, like, as we
Yeah,
move into
big-
metaverse and augmented reality and virtual reality, I have assigned Pip-Boy from Todd Howard, creator of Skyrim and Fallout. My first art director is currently art director from Diablo. 2
So
degrees
that's
of
yes.
bacon. I mean, I try to basically tell to DCC, if you really want a cheat sheet, compare my LinkedIn to any game tokens you're doing. If 2 of them are 2 degrees of bacon, they're accurate. If they move off to 2 degrees of bacon, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And that's at base level. Because
So,
I've been in the industry
maybe?
for fucking 14 years. Right? You know what
So,
I mean?
so
that's
the
a yes.
problem, bro, trader, is that they the banks that they were that these other banks were supporting is what's failing, and it's their liquidity that's not there.
Well, Clash brings up an interesting point too. I mean, we got 4 million worth of USDC in this Hex liquidity right now. That's
But see, it's a seesaw effect. It's pumping Hex
nasty.
right now.
But I mean,
love that
then
seesaw.
if we're talking about like things like, goddamn, like Ethereum and Bitcoin as hedges against these kinds of things. I mean, Ethereum, I've been looking closely at what this Shanghai means for that. I mean, that's like 16 million that's going to be available for their validators to pull out of staking. Now, I'm sure that that's going to be a graduated process, but nonetheless, it's going to be available to move. And then if you guys, I don't know which of you have been paying attention to where this move with Bitcoin started a couple weeks ago, but my mind was blown. But then again, nothing surprising, nothing shocking in this day and age. But did you guys know that the recent dive in BTC started with Binance claiming that they accidentally closed all derivative leveraged positions? They liquidated them of all Australian users in one fell swoop. And it's just really interesting that it's the Australian government and their regulators that's been kind of wanting to clamp down on KYC over there. And I think that this is like, it's yelling from the mountaintops. I mean, I know most Hexicans, intelligent Hexicans, have said it before, but let's drive it home again here. If any of us are still involved with Binance on any level, and I'm guilty, I have moved some things through there within the last 3 months. Gotta get out of Binance, guys. We gotta all get ourselves completely extricated from Binance.us or Binance Global as soon as possible. That thing's about to go down, as is Slibert's DCG, and this stuff's all just kind of scary.
Yep. Circle has their assets secured with banks with banks going under. That's what I was saying, that they were secured with banks going under. And USDC has an off switch. Anything that has a switch is not DeFi, and it's not DeFi, is what he said. And that
would
true.
mean that contract is actually mutable.
It's mutable.
So
that's
mutability.
Yeah, Tiggle. I never
USDC.
sat on that ramp, but I did pass through it. It was kind of like the Howard Johnsons off the turnpike for me for a minute. And
yeah,
I shouldn't even be doing that.
One of the things I teach when I'm out in the field and talking to folks and people ask is these things, these on-ramp, off-ramp platforms are just for that. You don't leave stuff hanging out there. You use it just to transfer back and forth. Like it's a bridge is all it really is. And that's another reason why I like TrueUSD, because when you redeem your TrueUSD, when you send your TrueUSD to the TrueUSD platform, it automatically gets transferred to your bank. There isn't even a second that it sits there. It is redeemed straight into your bank. As soon as you send it to your address on your TrueUSD account, it goes boom right through into your bank. It never sits there.
Well,
So
Wales had a good point. Like he's like, knowing your luck, Thothschild. I said, I was never there for more than 15 minutes. Does it take 15 minutes to get a STD, motherfucker? Well, no. So, but it would be my luck, Oh, I was only there for 12 minutes. Well, guess what happened to Binance in 12 minutes, dummy? So, that's my own self-critique. But yeah, I'm serious about that because that next shoe's about to drop with them. It's ugly.
I love this.
Hey,
We
Captain.
need Hexico ASAP. I'll tell you what, I'm not one for leaving my country, but if I can create a Hexico or be part of creating a Hexico with a lot of you folks.
We talk about it all the time over in Divergent. We're talking about nodes, global nodes.
Yeah, but we
I
also have the
don't
metaverse
feel
and
bad about it.
universe on how that happens too. So we will be building that. We are on the cusp of all digital access of utility, period. And I assure you, the captain is at the forefront of all of that. I assure you of that.
Can I ask a question though? Have any of you looked at the ZeroCoast thing about like that on-ramp thing?
Yeah, I heard about that.
No, what do you want to know?
I'm just starting to research it, so I'm not promoting it. I'm not like discounting it. I'm just like asking a question just because I'm curious, because of the way they want to go in. I think it's from what I understand, and it's basic concept, so it's only like an hour's worth of study, like 1% fees, and trying to create an on-off ramp to Pulse Chain specifically, not to Ethereum or anything like that. Just curious what your thoughts are.
No, I got you. So like I sent Coast a message when he did Wait, and I didn't realize that he was doing also Wait till a coffee fucking interview. And I realized that Wait was basically their burlesque show. It was their bandaged nipples on burlesque show to show what they could do before.
That's a
they
good
did
way of
fiat
saying
on.
it.
It is what it is. But I mean, at the end of the day, they also from Australia did USDC regulations with the SEC from another country, and Wait was their burlesque show before they went full force. And they're now regulated both in the SEC, both in the European Union, both to do fiat on and fiat off. But it's not leverage or margined. It's burn in, burn off. You do have to KYC like a fucking adult, but the KYC burns from escrow, burns from out. And just like the cap was saying with USDT or TUSD, you have to have your right fucking vault allocation to use those assets in there. And what it's doing is making a binding paradigm to run the bicycle forward. It's brilliant. And they also have a third thing that they're not sharing. The Coast people, Stoic and Coast, are brilliant on what they are doing, both in parameters, both in vernacular, and both in mechanics. It's smart. So I can't say anything more, nothing less. I am not on the team. I have not seen behind the scenes. But when I sent Coast this thing, he had a winky, laughy emoji that said, hey, I knew exactly what I was talking about when I understood what weight was versus what they're doing with their fiat on ramp versus what they have for the future. The Coast and Stoic team has metric weight, period. They're doing it properly. They're doing it government regulationally, and they're doing it dynamically to bind it onto things. It's smart. That's all I can say.
And I understand what you say about the burlesque show. And also, I think two of the people, this is just kind of me summing things up from the interviews I've seen. Two of the people are in Australia, a couple people in America, and then two people in like East Asian, like Singapore and someplace else. But 7 people team. That's my concept. I take notes. I write things down, and I was just interested because I think that would be fantastic for Pulse Chain because Richard has always talked about solving the on and off ramp thing straight from Pulse Chain rather than having to go through bridges and stuff, and that would be awesome.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the tweets right now, Richard.
No, it looks like Coinbase just halted all USDC to USD.
Everyone's like,
wow.
What?
Oh, the freak out's coming, baby. Here comes the freak out. Here it comes. Oh, I love it when this happens in crypto. I just love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Hex, users unaffected. In fact, you're pumping, Hex. It's 6-7. It's going up, 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 up. That green candle is looking beautiful on the daily right now.
Nice.
We've gotten half of that value that we lost over the last week back in like a matter of minutes.
I got to tell you, not just to be a Hexican in Hexico or to be a Pulse Chainiac, but just, in crypto in general, it's absolutely mind-boggling how fast things are happening right now. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but like every week I'm almost reeling, because with my other life responsibilities, it's really a struggle to find my crypto education time, and that never stops. Right. And, it feels like if you were to miss 36 hours of news just in Hexico, you're way behind, man. So if you look at just the entire ecosphere of all of crypto, how fast things are happening, fucking mind blowing, man. It really is. I mean,
and that's the thing. Crypto at times it's like stale, flat, nothing going on. Especially in this.
It hasn't been that way for a while for me.
Then, boom! It starts moving. It just goes lightning speed.
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of shit happening with derivatives, liquid staking derivatives. Coinbase is pairing up with Chainlink and Ethereum for this optimism based their base chain, so that's happening with Coinbase as Binance is being pursued by bounty hunters. It's like, and then BlackRock is doing something with Gnosis right now. It's freaking bananas, the speed that these things are moving at, man.
Well, this is happening in a bear market. That's what you have to understand. Like, I get what you're saying, I'm fortunate.
I think this is the capitulation market. Actually, I think we're in between worlds right now.
Well, that's why
it doesn't feel like a complete bull market start yet. I said the other day that it didn't feel like we were in a bear anymore, and we're not. And we're not in a bull. We're in a capitulation moment right now. We are at that.
Whoa, is that real, Sandy Beach? On a Friday night,
222.
Holy mother of God!
Well, that's why I
was going to do some shit tonight.
A bull in a mousetrap, because I still say we're in a bull trap. We're going to see something happen around middle of March here, and then maybe we'll see something happen in April, but I don't think we get things rocking until December. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking forward.
When's the Bitcoin halving? Next, what, March, April, May?
Next year, yeah.
Next year, March, April, May, I think. Yeah. And I feel like there's going to be a black swan probably this autumn.
Yeah.
I got my eye on a couple things.
I'm good. You know, I just, you know,
I'm not there yet. I need to get good.
Class. One DC, don't panic. Don't panic. Everybody's don't.
Well said. Well said, Flash.
Wait till the first whale pulls right now. Wait till a big whale just yanks. It's gonna go ape shit.
We might wake up to a different world tomorrow fucking morning, man.
Oh, I like what T-Bird said. Nah, Captain, capitulation is well behind us. This is just the last scare before the real green comes through. V3 is probably only days away.
Yeah, well,
quite
I'll agree
possible.
with that.
I don't know. Richard tweeted something like, something about the bottom, like the bottom wasn't in yet today. I forget what exactly it was, but he said
we got to do something for the
should have been
Shanghai
waiting
shit, man.
should have been
Thank
waiting for
God
the
they
bottom.
pushed that back.
Yeah, that's what Dorsey says. Dorsey says RH is timing the USDC bottom for launch. Oh, we got somebody coming in. Oh, excellent. What's up, Excellence? How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Spicy. We're getting spicy. You got problems with your audio? Can't hear us?
1 2 1 2.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I had the stream still in the background. That's
Oh,
It looks
yeah,
like
that's
you're,
okay.
you're taking care of better yourself than me. Just trying to grow it out.
Yep.
Blaine just ate $60 swapping USDC for Hex just now. Yeah, Valley Brand's in the house. What up, Brand?
I haven't had Bran in the chat room or any. He was in the chat room over when I was on DCC's show day before yesterday.
Youngest
Good to see
man
you,
in
Bran.
history to take a sabbatical during his retirement.
So shouldn't the SAC address be getting rid of its USDC, or is the SAC hoping for the best? It'll come around, or
I don't know. He's tweeting like he doesn't have any concerns. He just
Never
said to
does.
all the tech bros that just lost it all in SVB, don't you wish you'd used cryptocurrency instead? We have stable
SVB
coins
is
over
Silicon
here.
Valley Bank, right?
They'll still work. Yeah. They'll still work. He's selling stables, baby. He's selling stables to the banker. Attaboy. You go
That's
get
the
him.
thing that-
Go get him, Rich.
Actually concerned me that I heard that people who were like startups who had their money at Silicon Valley Bank, they couldn't afford to pay their employees. So I'm like, I guess I just better pay off my student loan, just get rid of all my debt in case I can't access it for a while.
Wouldn't it be nice if they did? If they all just said, we need some of those stable. We need some of that stable coin action.
I heard some horror stories in 2008 where some people had homes where they paid out like 95% of their home, but the bank still took their home. Has anyone heard anything like that?
Say that again. I'm sorry. Say that again.
So like somebody, they're paying off their home for 25 years and they only have,
But they couldn't afford to make the other payments, right?
They only have like 5% left, and then the housing crash comes and the bank fails and they seize their home. Is that just a bad,
No. That's true. That's what happened in 2008. People couldn't pay their mortgages. A lot of people had these liar loans.
Or was it because the bank failed? Because like I remember hearing that people were paying and they still lost their home.
No, not if you were paying. People were saying they were paying, but they didn't. It wasn't. The banks legitimately got people's homes, but they caused the whole problem.
For sure.
Loans are sold in bunches, in batches. And what they would do is set these loans up, and they were liar loans. And that means that you, even though you work for McDonald's, could go buy a $500,000 home because you said you had the money. It was called stated income loan. So you can say you had the money, even though you worked at McDonald's, and they were giving it.
I've been living a stated income life.
We all have. My wife has to put a dime where a dollar goes. Every
I'm a $1 million kid. What the fuck y'all talking about? Damn.
So what happened was they took all these bad loans and they mixed them with the A loans. So basically what they did is they made coleslaw out of cabbage that was good and botulinum toxin cabbage, and the coleslaw was bad, period. But they called it grade A coleslaw.
That was some freaky meat.
But they made they poisoned the whole thing, and then they transferred these loans to other banks. If you owned a home back in 2007, 2008, you watched your loan like you were paying a payment to this company, and then 2 months later you were making a payment to another company, and then 2 months later you were making a payment to another company, and they just kept moving these things around until the whole thing just finally collapsed.
You're talking about the mortgage-backed securities, right?
Yes, because all the bad loans were screwing up all the A loans, and it just went to shit.
MT Coiner.
I think what I remember, maybe I had it screwed up a little bit. What I think happened, what I heard, it's been so long, but is that the value of the home went down so low that it made that, you know, you
Yes.
owed $600,000 on a home that was now worth $200,000, even though you already paid $400,000 off the loan.
Yep.
And so the bank was like,
You lost it.
This is
You
insolvent.
lost it. And guess what the banks got? They got all the money you paid them. They got the home, and then they got to sell the motherfucker again.
Yeah.
And to top it all off, they got $7 trillion.
They need more money.
Us, taxpayers.
They
They
got
got
billed.
$7 trillion. That's how the banks made out in that situation. And they caused the whole thing by creating those liar loans and bundling the bad loans with the A loans. They created that whole thing. And they predatorily went out. And I talked about this on DC Stream the other day. They predatorily went out and targeted elderly people, like you said, that had already almost paid off their homes. They targeted people in the inner cities that wanted to get out of the inner cities to go buy homes out in the suburbs.
Take a walk of logic with me real quick.
Yeah.
A few minutes ago, we just talked about somebody breaking into our house and damaging our loved ones and what we would do to them.
Exactly.
As soldiers of natural sovereign autonomy under natural universal law. Take the walk of logic with me for a moment, if you all would. Is this in a macrocosmic sense any fucking thing less? I mean, my God, how long? For how long, oh Lord?
Yeah, they had a
It's
contract.
beyond that.
And nobody rails against that. Nobody goes.
What do you mean? There were protests.
Well, I have a
There were
crazy idea.
protests.
It's called complaining.
I have a
That's called
really crazy
complaining.
There
idea.
wasn't any real protests about what they did. There were people that protested at some of the banks. It was very minimal, the amount of heat that the banks took from that $7 trillion bailout that they got, from the stealing of people's homes because they lied all over the place, because they created a situation. Now, we can all say that those people made the decisions to sign on the dotted line and get those loans anyway, those adjustable mortgage rates that went up so high, there was no way that anybody could afford those anymore. And they had to give up their homes. But they took the homes, they took the money they already got, they took the bailout, and then they sold those homes again. And they're all still in business. They're all still in profit. They're all still thriving. And their CEOs are still getting multi-million dollar bonuses every single year. And nobody rails against it. I mean, yeah, we say the banks suck. We want to replace the banks, but nobody's really like, there's some CEOs at some of these big banks that should be out in the freaking, what do they call that thing? The bullock block that you should, put your head and your hands
I know what you're
in.
talking about. I don't remember what.
Put them in public. What do they call that block?
Bullock?
The bullocks. Yeah, I mean, but we let them go. We let them go.
So what happens if we have like something? This is a totally crazy idea. I'm not saying we should do this, but it's just funny to think about, right? But what if we had like a declaration of like a second, like kind of like the Declaration of Independence, but we call it something else, like the Declaration of, you know, you can't weaponize the government against the people or something.
What's the government?
But
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's
There's this
I can
whole
make a
weaponization of
declaration.
the government.
How am I going to
thing is just-
defend it?
Yeah,
one of the clauses will be, for example, that if somebody conspires, this is just an idea. It's not like I'm not saying that we should
How
do
would you
it.
prove it? How would you prove conspiracy?
Yeah,
It
see,
is
and that's
fine.
it. You've
You
got
know,
to be able to prove it. You've got to be able to bring. You've got to get
Yeah.
people. It's the country's not built for that. We
Yeah.
can have all these great ideas. The country's not built for that. We have to use the tools that are available. It's like we're all out here trying to do things, and we need to be in this lane doing things.
Well, there is
Nobody
a
wants to
point
operate
where,
in this lane.
there is a point where I think it's going to happen. The society is just going to flip the table over and say we're starting over.
It's not. It's not.
That's not how it happens.
That's not how it
That's
happens.
what
Right.
we
It
did. That's
doesn't
what we
occur like
did
that in history.
in 1776. We said, "Fuck this. We're not doing this anymore." And we
Yes, but a lot
stopped.
of people died in the process. It wasn't like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and the other thing is that it's not like everyone in the country agreed. It was something like 30% actually were in favor of seceding from Britain, right?
Mhm.
So
It wasn't a big action. But at that time, it was so hard for another country to fight a war so far away. Things are different than what happened back then. We didn't have the type of resources that a country had in those days to fight a war like that. You know, the
Yeah,
British Empire.
honestly, my tactic is just fucking leave. This problem is
where are you going to go? To another country?
Yeah.
Yeah,
this-
where are you going to go? You think there's a place
problem
any
is
better than where you're
isolated.
at?
like the nomad capitalist. this
Wait,
problem is
isn't that
isolated.
scammer that has Acapulco and everyone every year is like
And
hey,
Acapulco, yeah.
Yeah, in Acapulco, but it's in Acapulco. You're right.
Why did you say he's a scammer?
Because every single year people are like, "Hey, this guy promised us money, you know, at the venue, and you know we paid for our costs, and then he's not paying us, and then apparently the same thing happened the previous year." You know, Adam Kokesh talked about it. That guy seemed really weird to me at first, and then I'm like, okay, this is why I kind of get a bad feeling about this guy.
It just
Even
seems
though I
kind
never
of
met him, I just
predatory
watch
to
him.
me. Yeah, it just seems kind of
He
predatory.
was
to me.
gone for 2 years, and he just started to come back like a week ago on Twitter. So
Yeah. So Hexcellent, if you want to know more about what happened, I don't know if you've seen this movie called The Big Short. It speaks in detail exactly what happened with that loan situation in 2007, 2008.
That was a good movie.
I had a conversation with a Dollar Cost Crypto, and somebody asked if I was on a show. I did his show twice in the last like month and a half, 2 months. I was on his show, and then just 3 days ago or 2 days ago, I was on his show again.
But
and
all
we
these
talked a little
banking
bit about
crises are isolated to the U.S., Britain,
No,
the Europe.
No, what about Greece? What about
the-
Germany? The reason why
The cycle of interest rates is every country has their own cycle of interest rates, and America's tied to Europe.
but they have an
but-
incestuous relationship with each bank, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not that your
All I
purchasing power
know
is going
is
down
that
because all the banks are
can get-
inflating.
I can get
with
the
each other.
same breakfast that I get in Chicago, where I am right now, in Colombia for literally 1/10 the cost. So why the fuck am I in Chicago? That's my question for you.
because
Like,
you
can
make
leave
the
if you
money
want.
that those people
Who's going
don't
to stop you?
make. Because those people don't make money for making that breakfast. The person that you pay to get
No,
that
that-
breakfast.
In my
And the people-
opinion, the problem is that nobody's fucking working here. That's the problem.
What do you mean?
We have the younger generation is too small to support the older generation of boomers, and the boomers are living on their retirement. They're not working, and the younger generation is not working because they're like, well, I'm not getting paid anything, so why would I work?
No, they don't have skills
that's
and they don't have jobs. And
They
the
don't have skill
colleges are doing a
sets, they don't
shitty
have
job.
jobs, and the extras are fucking tired. We've had enough. Our backs are broken.
And plus
fucking
there's
Fixing everything.
all
for
sorts of ways
everybody.
to make money that don't necessarily require all that human capital, right?
Yes.
You hear about companies doing stock buybacks. It's their incentive to
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
do that.
I could do sales in Colombia, which I've spent like the last year and a half in Colombia pretty much. I can do sales from my phone in Colombia. I can do engineering. I'm a petroleum engineer. I can do engineering from.
Oh, you
from
studied chemical engineering,
Colombia.
right?
What's that?
You studied chemical engineering?
Petroleum.
Okay. Wow.
And
I studied chemical.
oh, cool, yeah. And I could do programming from Colombia. I could do there's so many things I can
So
do
what's
from
stopping
Colombia.
you? Why don't you go there? It sounds awesome.
I do it. I'm just letting you guys know that you don't have to live in this bullshit. Like you have two options. You can have a revolution, which is bloody, like you said, or you can just fucking leave. Like that's what I'm doing.
There are plenty of
Well, no,
middle
there's
ground
another
options.
option too, and that's fix it. There's
that's really
options.
hard.
And
Right.
it is
Fix the
really
money,
hard.
fix
The,
the
the
world.
way to change
But
the
at
law
what
isn't like
Point
it's really
is
hard to
people are
change the
people
law
going to get
for
up
the
off their
system.
ass and go do the work.
Mhm.
The better way
Take
to
action.
change the
Take
law
away
that you're in is
Citizens
actually go
United. Once
somewhere
we
else.
dethrone Citizens United, it's done. It is the ultimate dragon. And again,
It's-
excellence. Like, tip of the hat to you for fucking leaving and doing all the rest of that. But like, I do
Well, you haven't left
agree
yet, right?
that we need to fucking go home and kill the dragons, because the fact that the USD dollar is the debt dollar means that we have to deal with it even in different countries.
Well, it's the world's reserve
Well,
currency. That's the
like
other
what
issue.
if you had a Roman in 200 AD going like, we're gonna save the empire? He looks pretty fucking dumb now. Like,
Mm.
Yeah, but
like,
here's the thing.
it's
There's
gone. It's
only
gone, you
three.
guys. It's gone.
There's
like-
only like three ways to
No,
change.
not even close. Excellent. I don't buy into that at all.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm just not gonna. I'm just, that's my opinion. Like you guys, I'm
No, I
not
know.
criticizing you guys for doing what you want. You can do what you want to do.
See,
Uh,
you're a single
I
young
went to
man.
China. I don't feel bad about it. I left the U.S.
You're a single young man. There's people here in this country that can't just pick up and
Before
move
COVID.
to South America.
No, it's true. Yeah.
I went to Puerto Rico to go look at it, and I took
Yeah.
my wife and my family out there to see if that was something that we can do, because of course I have to make sure that my family can do it. And it was, it wasn't going to happen. My wife was like, there is no way I'm putting my 17-year-old daughter on the streets of Puerto Rico. There is no way I'm
that's
trying to raise
dangerous.
my 6-year-old here.
Puerto
And
Rico's pretty dangerous.
it's just not conducive to the lifestyle that we're used to, that we're accustomed to, that we are living in. It was too much of a shell shock, a culture shock, the whole thing. It just wouldn't work for us.
Sure.
So there are other places that you can go that might be better for you, but not everybody, not the majority of people can just pick up sticks and go somewhere. And plus,
For sure.
how are all of us going to go? Of course, individual citizens can do it and people can handle it. And single young men, it's much easier for them to do it. But how about like somebody like SJ? Even though she's an adventurous woman, she can handle herself. How would you think she would feel going out to some foreign country like that and just trying to start over on her own?
I think don't you live in Costa Rica or something, SJ? Or am I thinking, of someone else?
I've lived in Puerto Rico before.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just there recently, and I would like to move back. Honestly, I'm on the opposite end of that spectrum. I love it.
Isn't the
I think
pollution really bad there?
The what?
Pollution? Isn't it really bad there?
In San Juan specifically. Yeah. It is.
And I went down south, and there was some pretty good pollution down there too. Nothing like going to
I love good
Thailand and seeing
pollution.
the pollution down there and stuff.
I actually have a friend who's an activist. He goes to the beaches and holds up signs all about the fact that people are just leaving their. He actually got shot in the face because he confronted a family who was leaving their trash behind.
Damn, it's not a good place to live.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that the difference is
It's dangerous. And crypto
Yar.
influencers are ending up floating to the surface of the ocean onto the
What's
beaches.
up, Frank
I don't-
Glenn? Speaking
I don't
of
like Puerto Rico very much. I've never been there, but it seems like it's a honeypot for crypto. Like, you want to go rob a crypto guy, go to fucking Puerto Rico. Like,
Amen.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the whole thing about like anyone that had to deal with the drug industry, the rave industry, the entertainment industry back in the day. We deal with the fact of where the honeypot is. The honeypot is the bridge. That is why it's easier to attack the weakest link and to get your ability or something of harvest from the lackluster of the pack. For me, I have cats. Yeah, they're not children, but they're my children. And even though they can't vote, they're the only things that matter to me. And like Cappy was saying, or SJ
Children
was
can't
saying,
vote
or
either.
even you, Max, and Hexalente, you have to look at what your variable is to move into those ecosystems, and then from that anchor point, be a lighthouse. That lighthouse allows you to direct your light to what needs to be moved. And that is vastly, vastly, vastly important.
Wait, are you talking about convincing others by leading through example, or just by trying to better yourself?
For me, it's both. If you have the ability and you can do it. For me, like, for example, I want to go to Portugal. I'm not going to put my cats on a plane where they get put to sleep. To do that, I will literally run on a freighter across it because my cats are my children and I will not care to get over to them. But the ideal is when you get somewhere, do you establish a lighthouse? Do you establish a syndicate? And that's what Cappy has been doing for this entire time, is building the Discourse Syndicate to be able to talk and to build. Same thing that Alex did with a Casahedron building on a t-shirt. We have these things that go ahead, Cappy.
No, I just don't. I don't want to take anything. Somebody's really got some bad echo going on in the background. Pause. Mute yourself. I'm sorry. It's not me.
I'm muted.
I'm muted.
It's excellence. That's all right, bro. Just when you talk, just unmute yourself. So crypto style, real quick on crypto stylist. So she is a professional's professional, and she's moved to some countries herself. So I wasn't saying that women are more vulnerable. Let's just say that, because they are preyed upon more than most men are. But it's also your position and where you go and how you interact with that country. So she's been able to do that because of she works at a high level, and she's not your average. She's a business-minded woman that can move around the world because she's needed around the world. Not just anybody that just works at a convenience store can just pick up sticks and move. Now, in your defense, Hexcellence, what you're saying, there's nothing wrong with what you're saying. You're absolutely correct. And especially your generation, it's like, well, shit, I'm just going to be a global citizen, because now, we're more global citizens than we've ever been. However, I believe that this country is worth saving, that this country is worth.
But it's not a country. I just said it. It's as actual, truthful point of fact. This is not a country. It's a corporation, man. And citizens are chattel.
Because of Citizens United, which is what.
No, brother, man. I'm talking about back to the writing of the freaking Declaration and the Articles of the Confederation. This is a corporation. It's what divestment and status correction is all about, brother. It's truth. It's truth. Our president's the CEO
of the company. And
right.
Because there's money involved, it gets to function that way. If you take the money out of it and give the power back to the people, that's what
we could go about establishing it as a country.
But we'll still be the same structure. It'll still be the same structure. 100%, you're correct. The structure that they set up was set up to operate and function like a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what a capitalistic democracy is. And if it seems to have been, when it was in its heyday, the best way to go. Now, that was circumvented by greedy capitalism, corporate style, what would you call it? Very aggressive capitalism that put this law in place.
I mean, the straw man's been in place even during the heyday of the United States. The straw man's been in place. So we're talking legally now. We're talking.
Well, legally. Yeah. I mean, you can go back to all the wars and everything that they created. I mean, even Smedley Butler,
this is where the difference between canon law, papal law, maritime law, and private law and public law. This is the world that we're talking about now. I mean, we can paint it any way we want that makes us feel better, but in actual point of fact, this is how it is and has been, and it's maddening. And it makes no sense. I agree.
Well, that's a rabbit hole that spirals down into the nether, But we are a country. We're a nation of laws. That's what we are. And unfortunately, corporations have usurped the law and wrote the law in their favor, and that's why we
Like
have
everyone
crony
would.
capitalism. What's that?
That's the idea, though. Isn't
That's
that the
the what?
point?
I'm missing what you're saying.
Isn't that the point of the law? To write the law in your favor?
Isn't that the point of the law? I don't think it's the
Not in
point of the
our
law.
favor,
It's the
in
point of
all
the
favor.
law that was written to put it in your favor. But when it's written by the people in general, it's different than when it's written by groups of what would you call it?
Hoi Aristoi, you know, or the patricians versus the plebeians, you know, as it were. It's a real bummer when I
Sounds
tell
kind of
people,
Marxist.
if they were to look at the beautiful words, you know, as they were written, we think, my God, that Constitution, that is a beautiful, elegant document. I'm here to tell you, I will stake my life on the fact those words were not written for anybody on this panel or in this chat. Those words, as they wrote them, were meant for the authors and the signers, which considered themselves to be in a above class, a patrician class. I'm not happy about it. I don't support it, but I'm just telling everybody how it
Didn't
actually
Jefferson say that, you know, maybe we should ban slavery, but then because he
is.
was
A lot of
worried
those
that
guys talked out both sides of their mouths really well. It kind of kept them from being strung up.
Yeah, we were
And
both
their
there.
pocket, it
That's how
kept
we
their
know
pockets
our
filled,
points.
and it kept them from being strung up.
Nice. Dragon Balls. I used to have those when I was younger.
Dragon Ball Z stuff.
No, he's got Dragon Balls, like the things you roll in your hand.
Those are
and,
my Benoit balls. Leave them alone.
Oh yeah,
Those are huge. I don't know how you,
You know
fit them
this.
in there.
Let me read this real quick
Use them on
before we get into
myself.
Benoit balls. So Discourse Syndicate, you know this, Cap. You're native. Yes, I'm native, and that's something I'm going to talk about real quick. Government only works when it's local and decentralized. Politics in the modern world unfixable, in my opinion. So
What's a government?
the government that we have set up here, or the set of laws, that's what it is. Government is a set of laws that people
That we
are
didn't
to
agree to.
abide by, that half of us don't agree to, because those laws are written by moneyed interest and people who have the power to create those laws, versus it was supposed to be the power of the vote, which was what the Longhouses. And so if you haven't read the book, it's called Indian Givers. It has a detailed description of how our government here, the set of laws, were set up based upon, I believe it was the Oneida Nation or the Algonquins, and their democratic state that they had set up.
Yeah.
It was really our system that we have set up, the Congress, the Senate, the separations of powers that we have, was exactly taken from native government that was already set up here.
Captain, an addendum to that, what you say is true. And it's interesting to note that the state houses of governments in each state are actually physically often located on the congressional lands that were in place for Indian tribes before. So in Philadelphia,
a lot of people don't know
example,
that our government is set up based on native governments that were set
and
up here
our
before.
roads,
They think they're all running around with
old
feathers
Indian
and
trails. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not what's going on. These were very sophisticated people that had very sophisticated laws and government systems, and they were democratic democracies.
It's interesting. They had all sorts of
They were
tribes that
merit-based.
had like all these different characteristics. It was very, how to say, there was a Cambrian explosion of various ways of living. So you're right in that there were tribes that were quite sophisticated in terms of their government that resemble ours, but there were also tribes that had
Ours resemble theirs, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But there were also tribes that had quite different structures.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, some of their ways of medicine were more advanced than ours, not in terms of imaging or chemistry. They didn't have that back then.
Yeah.
But it had a very empirical way of healing.
A very
quite
holistic
interesting.
approach, and we've gone back to it's gone full circle, and we've gone back to a lot of holistic approach. My doctor today that I have is a holistic doctor that works on preventative care versus after the fact. We are reactive and not they were not reactive but proactive in your health. And so that's why.
Are you trying to avoid a certain illness, or are you trying to fix a
Well,
current illness.
I don't have an illness to try and fix, but now because of modern technology, we can see the things inside our bodies, inside our DNAs, and we can see another big cell. We can see like problems that could come down the road for us, like we can be predisposed to certain cancers.
What's helpful as a framing issue.
Issues.
As a framing issue, it's helpful to think, and this is something that even though I've known it for a while, I've only recently been able to implement. I no longer say I get sick. I don't get sick. What I do is all I do is heal, because that's my nature. That's what I do. I heal. So I might wake up one day and discover that something's out of place. From that moment forward, I don't go, I'm sick. I go, oh, I'm in the process of healing. And I'm trying to apply that to every aspect of my life now. Easier said than done sometimes, because we're like a needle stuck in a bad groove on a record in a lot of ways, the ways we're programmed and the ways that we purchase the illusion. But try that at home.
But all the symptoms of illness,
you're healing.
That's 100% correct. All the symptoms of being sick, the cough, the sneezing, the runny nose, all of those things, the fever, all those things, is your body healing itself, and the things that we put inside us don't heal us. They help the body to do the work that it's supposed to do.
Right.
That's
that America stop and think about it. Holy shit.
Yes. Yeah. I think there's only a handful of things that actually go in and affect, like penicillin is one of those things that actually go in and affect things that are in your body. And the rest of the things are just to knock down symptoms that your body is trying to, and it helps your body to heal itself. Cause that's what it is. We have miracle bodies. There's no miracle drugs. It's miracle bodies that actually do the work. And sometimes the drugs just help it along.
Yeah. With penicillin, your body still has to clean up the mess caused by the penicillin.
Of course.
So
of course.
It's
and
not
try and come back from it. Just like chemotherapy. Chemotherapy kills everything. It damn near kills you. The chemotherapy.
It doesn't kill everything. It just kills
it kills the cancer and a lot of things in your body too. It draws your immune system down so bad it damn near kills you. And then your body has to come back from that, Wrecked.
Yeah, cancer is quite a special illness.
For real. I have a friend who went through that, and I believe his mental state, his positivity got him through that.
That's beautiful.
And
there's a lot to be said about that.
Because if you're already down, you get hit physically, it just perpetuates and accentuates it.
See, my mom, it was hard watching mom, her spinal column turned to dust in front of my eyes. And this was a spiritually advanced woman. There's something to be said for the idea that we are but avatars living in a hologram. And when our program is concluded, it's concluded. It's time to freaking move on, And I more saliently than ever had to face that when it came to this Buddha of a woman cashing out. And she looked straight at me and she was like, dude, you got to reconcile with this. I'm done. Mission's completed. I'm cool. I'm going to rock. I'll catch you in a little while. And I was like, all right, I guess I better start to face it the way you are. If you can be this brave,
Do you know
Thanks,
what illness she had?
Honkler. This is something that I've never heard before. That sounds really good. You can never really lose a battle with cancer, because if you die, the cancer dies too. It's a draw.
Well said.
Yes, we want to draw.
Well
we want to
said,
not
man.
draw on every illness, don't we?
Well, it actually is the same paradigm they use in The Last of Us, the show, right? If they don't have food to actually push the paradigm of the mushroom, whatever fucking zeitgeist, then they do die. However, they have a half-life that lasts our half-life. So you have to look at what your half-life is versus what you can challenge. And that is the core component of the story of The Last of Us, is that even though something can outlast you, you can still fight and beat it. It is the paradigm of the hero's journey, but you have to understand its components for what it is.
Campbell is interesting.
Hey, man.
A lot of
I didn't really like that book, though.
You want to, look at that. Look at that looker. That was her 2 years before she went. Okay. That's why at 51, I look like I'm 35. It's because of that woman right there. She looked damn good when she cashed out. Who's to say?
You were
That's
saying
why I kind of
what,
purchased this whole
illness she
avatar
had?
and a hologram thing now.
You were saying what illness she had? Which was what again?
It was just a cancer. That'll be
Okay.
sufficient. Yeah.
I had
All right,
heard
that's
that.
good.
Not to bring down the party.
Back to crypto.
Sorry.
I have a question that's kind of good segue.
Yes.
What if we're not going to use USDC anymore?
Yeah.
Still,
What are
as
we
of
gonna
tonight, if we're not going to use USDC anymore, what are we going to
Nice,
use?
nice transition.
What are we going to value Hexen?
Maybe that's
We might
the
want to
time
start
that
thinking
we
about
get
that, right?
the stable coin that Richard
Might
was
want to
talking
start
about. a few years
thinking
ago.
about it.
Well,
Anybody
the
got any
problem is, it's
ideas?
like, what is stable? I mean, Captain can shut me up right now, and I will not say anything. But we
Yeah,
need
we
to
don't
look at
need
what
to
a
talk
stable
about
fusion of value is. Period. You understand that? Not my problem.
Dorsey, kiss my kiwis, man. Get rid of this
No!
guy. Sorry.
If
You don't
Thought
look
gets
dirty,
Dorsey
right?
fucking banned, he has now leveled up.
Should Dorsey
so
get a
what-
timeout for that thought? Do you want him to have a timeout?
No, you know what? Let him suffer. Let's all
Okay.
view his iniquity with eyes wide open. Yeah.
Eyes Wide Open is a great movie. Great movie.
Vaffanculo.
Great movie.
I only saw it once. I
My-
need to rewatch that one.
Oh, it's fantastic.
My brain's
I
my
mean, I
brain's,
think the
like,
best
exploding.
movie, if you want to go to like young Hugh Jackman or young Tom Cruise, is the Fountain. But again, what is a stable unit of value if you're stabling a stable coin that's still stable to a USD that inflates?
yeah, I
If
agree
you're
with
stabling to a dollar, and a
How
dollar
stable is
inflates-
it really, right?
No, you're
When you just go to the
stabling to
grocery
a
store, it's not very stable.
It's purgatory. You're dealing with purgatory.
Mhm.
And so you need to look at what a stable unit of value is now that we have fractional assets of value, now that we have decentralized terms of value, now that we have utility buying on other sets of value. Vastly different than what is stable or what is a dollar, both of which need to go away.
It's probably going to happen soon enough.
Oh, I assure you. Captain
what are we
won't even
gonna
talk
measure
about it, still
Hex?
with me, but like,
what do we measure Hex? I guess the Hex BTC chart is the new Hex chart, or Hex ETH, or what?
So
I mean, Hex ETH has the most liquidity to it because Bitcoin has.
Okay, Hex
Oh
ETH.
my
That's
gosh.
wrap Bitcoin has. So
That's
you're
a better
wrap
one.
Bitcoin has, you're dealing with Ethereum, Bitcoin wrapped Hex.
okay, everybody. It's time for the conversation to get really interesting because our man who we haven't seen in a while,
Oh my God.
my good friend, Mr. Wales Only, has come to join this conversation.
Just before Wales jumps on, let me ask this one question.
Hey,
So I was listening to you earlier this week, and we were talking about like trading pairs and different things and moves. You know, we're not selling PLSD, we're not selling PLSX, but you had a game plan strategy. You want to share that?
What's up, Wales?
What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing?
Good to hear your
think
voice,
You're my
man.
gentleman and
WO1.
scholar, my dear friend Wales.
I like your content.
Thanks, man.
How you doing, man? You sound a little stuffy, a little under the weather.
Nah, just a little lit, you know.
Linda, listen.
The usual.
The usual.
I remember when he had a fan on his computer.
Yeah, you remember them days?
Man, the days.
In the background the whole time.
Damn jet engine back there.
Yeah, I know it. I do deal with
I think I remember-
for a living, sir.
I remember that too.
So what's
That's how
going
we
on?
got to know
What
each other.
brought
He
you?
said-
What
he
shook
tells
you
the
out of the
story.
woodwork, man? What's going on?
He's the first time Thoughtchild ever wrote to me. He wrote me like 6 pages about my audio.
yeah, I was like, get the fuck out of
Who is
here.
this dude?
He legit did that, yeah. But that's how bad it was. It was motivating.
Sounds real good today.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so let's hear what's going on, Wells. What do you think's happening with this this stablecoin nonsense that's happening right now?
Well, you know, it's interestingly enough, I streamed on this earlier, and I kind of said this was going to happen because you got to understand this is just the domino effect. You know, 2022 was just the year that you know, those cryptos with no clothes got exposed. You know, as in the emperor wears no clothes. This year is the year of Wall Street getting exposed. You know, I've been talking about this for a while, and it's just happening now. That's all. It's just everything is interconnected in a way that it's not supposed to be, and the games that they were playing with the rates
Hmm.
because of
And
how the
leveraging.
accounting. Yeah, because of how the accounting works. The interesting thing is that these losses have been on the books for years. It just so happened that they just got found now.
They weren't baked in.
That's right.
They weren't baked in. They were just sitting there floating around until they were discovered.
That's right. So what happens is that when they're actually put on the books, that's when they're discovered. So somebody's not doing their job or something, and that's typically.
I gave somebody some time to get out, maybe.
Well, interestingly enough, the CEO and some of his counterparts were selling some of that stock a couple weeks ago. So apparently they had a heads up or something.
Right?
Yeah.
King, good point.
Bro, that's what kind of reminds me of the situation that we just saw here. Like, so we see the crypto market crash. We see all this value $2 trillion of market cap just into thin air. And over nothing. Like it was just like, where'd this come from? And then months later, we see that the FTX debacle comes out, and then no movement. Like it was already, they baked that in and then said, okay. And then they
check it out.
Let's go.
I'm about to make it spicy for you. Because
please bring it, baby. Open up that bottle and sprinkle it on.
Second, because what you said was only half right. Right? We think of it as if the value disappeared, but it didn't. It went into fiat.
Yeah. It left crypto.
Right.
Money doesn't disappear. It just moves.
It transfers. That's right. So now that we've established that simple little fact that we all know, why are these institutions failing? Where is this fiat going? Where did it disappear to? How do they not have the reserves to cover what's supposedly on the books? Interessante, sir. As I like to say at work, good question. Next question.
So they just lied, is your point? That
pretty much.
Wow.
Or that they moved the money and they knew that they could get it out and they wouldn't be. Yeah, that they could get it out. One of those.
The hope is that they don't get caught.
What happens is the FDIC owns these banks now. The FDIC was like,
right?
Yeah, the FD, they call it Title II. They execute Title II, which is now the FDIC owns whatever, I forget what it's, Silvergate Capital and this other one.
Silicon Valley Bank.
Yeah, Silicon Valley. And now they're going to auction off whatever they own over the next 5 years to help build the reserves of the FDIC, because the FDIC is not liquid. Which
well, they can only cover like 3%, right? Of failures.
Yeah, so you probably watched the same videos I've watched, and they're going to. I guess that makes sense. They're gonna beef up the reserves of the FDIC, and then they're gonna do a bail-in, which is if they're just going to let them fail. Like that's basically, but you'll get the FDIC money. This is my theory. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I kind of saw this coming. I already didn't have any money in my bank account just by watching videos like you knew about this.
It's interesting
What
to
do you think is
note.
going to happen next?
Yeah, it's interesting to note that this Nikolai Mushigan, who was apparently accidentally drowned in Puerto Rico. We all know that he was a co-founder rather of the DAO that started the stablecoin DAI, right? But he had just 2 weeks before he got popped or whatever happened, his accident. He had just released a really crazy white paper on a new form of stablecoin that, according to his own words, was going to make DeFi completely bulletproof. as of a month ago, that white paper was still available in PDF form online. So I can't think of what it was called off the top of my head, but you guys could probably still find that white paper by Nikolai Mushigan. So it's interesting. I always say they never accomplish one thing. And when I say they, save it, you know what I'm saying? But they never accomplish one single thing with anything that they do.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Yo.
If you don't know who the fuck they is in 2023, go bury yourself. Seriously, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Come on.
Yeah. That's a hangout position. That
Just
get you
fuck
they up
outta
in
here
too.
with
They
that,
get you
yo.
laid up in that cut.
I am not hearing that in 2023. Like, let's grow the fuck up. Seriously.
Well, Wales, I'm sorry, but if 19 hijackers with razor blades can bring down the World Trade.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Jesus
I knew
Christ.
if I got
Wait,
you
wait.
two in a room, it was going to
So-
start getting juicy in here.
whatever.
Yo, look,
You guys know who Greta Thunberg won't criticize?
the Chinese
Herself.
and the Saudis.
What?
The,
Okay.
the Chinese,
Okay,
the
yeah, the
Saudis,
Saudis.
Iranians.
Yeah.
Israel.
Psychotropic
Israelis.
drugs.
Other Asperger's people.
Just all the schmoes in the West.
And guess who's really good friends
The
with the
Nord Stream
Saudis too?
pipeline bombing.
The Bushes,
The,
Rackham
the
Rishel.
Clintons, the Bushes,
Non-environmental
the
yeah.
Clintons,
Uh,
Kissingers, the all the homies.
How many people are you not criticizing? It's like, who cares about her?
yeah. Well, the people don't. The individuals don't matter. That's not the individual figureheads that they put out there don't matter.
That
It's
little precious
really what's going
girl's
on
just
in the
trying to
background.
save the earth. How dare you?
No, she's not.
Well, you know what's
They
interesting.
asked her point blank, "Will you denounce OPEC?" And she just keeps walking.
No.
Like,
This is
what you
what's
do.
interesting.
What are you
She's not
talking about?
well. I mean, to
Like,
even
know what
if you
OPEC
talk
is.
about a young lady to put this young girl out there who's not well and try and make her that really should
Exactly.
Never
Her parents
It's-
are disgusting, man.
This is what's
she's
interesting
sick. Like
about
making
that
bank.
character. I remember when she first came on the scene. I was probably in my mid-20s. This motherfucker was a teenager in high school. And my mother, of all people, mentions this shit to me. And I'm like, what makes you think some fucking teenager in high school? And this is my mom. And I told her just like this. What makes you think some fucking teenager in high school has a fucking clue?
Mhm.
Period. End of fucking discussion.
on global issues.
On any fucking thing, my man. If you a fucking teenager, you a girl, you trying to get plugged, and if you a dude, you trying to plug something.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, that goes all the way into your 60s and shit too. So let me just confirm
Yeah,
that.
but when you're a teen, it's like
That's all that
hyperdrive,
matters.
right?
That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's like hyperdrive in most instances.
Not if you're an
you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't think it's true.
Yeah, right. But let's say.
You can tell.
Let's say, she does have Asperger's, right? Why does somebody with Asperger's have the floor?
I get ass and burgers too. So what?
There you go. Nailed it.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
It's just like,
Discourse Syndicate show,
AOC.
the only show
Why did
that's ever
she-
called Greta Thunberg a thought.
What?
What's a thought?
Oh.
Wait. Dude, I don't
I'm
wanna
dead.
get-
I'm done. Oh my god.
we can't talk too much crap about her because
Why not?
look
She's
what
not
happened to
here.
Andrew Tate.
No, the male thought.
Oh,
That
okay.
dude is another
I got
poser.
it.
He's already been exposed, man. That shit is
They've
all
all
a
been
show.
Oh, I've been slaying him
Yeah.
on my
I-
thumbnails, man.
She's probably a good person, but she's caught up in some bad shit.
Every human being
Everyone
is a good
says
person
you're
and a
probably a
bad
good person.
person. We all have a good and an evil side.
I'm sure a lot of Saudis are good people. I'm sure a lot of Iranians are good people. A lot of Russians. A lot of Ukraine. Most of everybody's a good person.
Human
And
beings are good in nature.
no,
When I
we're all
sit
evil
down
in
with any
different
human
ways.
being, we could find good things to talk about, and we all agree upon a lot of stuff. And there's about 10-15% of the shit that is in our own minds and bullshit that we spew that is what creates all the messes that we have out there. human beings that are good people. A lot of people want good things for their families, want good things for their communities, want good things to happen in the world. But there's that 10%, that greed, that thing that pops in, that human nature that, and I always say it like this. They ask me, RG, what do you want? What do you want in life? What does your future look like? What do you want? And I always say a little more.
Nice.
That's it. Because that's what human nature is. We want a little more. Now, when some of us get a pathway that little more could bring us a lot more, even if it causes the demise of other people or the heartaches of other people, some of us will take that path and some of us won't. And those who have taken that path are the ones that have created our ills, have created the things that we have to deal with on a daily basis, the things that Wales talks about. It's those people that went down that path and said, fuck everybody else. I'm going to get mine on top of everybody's heads and dead bodies. And those are the people that are creating the evil, that took that 10% of the bad part of themselves and went down that wrong path and didn't care about any other humanity or any other person out there.
Hey, Cap, can you share what I put up? Because it applies to the conversation three different ways. It applies.
Are you talking about in the private chat?
I put up a graphic that you could share there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't see.
You mean that hoe over there?
No,
that was someone else who said that.
I'm going to have to consider putting that up there.
Because it applies because it's got Thunberg, Tate, and they.
Well, look, while you consider
I'm not going to post that just because.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah, I'm not
it's a little bit over the edge.
Oh, come on.
Put it in the
It's
Telegram.
rated PG at worst.
That's PG.
You can't tell what's going on. It looks like a handicap poster. Come on, man.
But it's what the other handicap is doing to the one that still can walk.
Oh, come on. I wish the crowd could see this to take a vote on it now.
Well, I'd like to see it. I don't see it.
All right, guys. I guess you're gonna have to go to Thoughts House Twitter.
I'm going just because this is Discourse Syndicate.
I got you.
And we've had it. I'm going to put it up.
It's got the whole crew on there.
I'm sorry.
That's pretty brutal.
It is 9:00 on the kids should be in bed by now. It's 5 minutes after 9 here in the West Coast.
Playing hopscotch. The kids would say they're playing hopscotch.
Oh my goodness. Well, it beats the horse getting masturbated the first time we showed that.
Glad I missed that.
Yeah, that was in the early days. Valiant Brand, he was an OG days, from Discourse Syndicate. He knew what it is. Says, yeah, beats horses. Haha. We've had a few other situations here.
This is the one that Richard.
Honestly,
Richard
it sounds like
to make this week. He said somebody needs to make the libel lore, so I made the meme for it in about 15 minutes after Richard asked. So I put this up. The meme. The libel lore lives in a pretend universe.
The graphic designer guy?
Entitlement.
I'm just kidding.
Wales, what do you
high
think
perched eyebrow conveys shock when
served.
Nice.
Cannot mask howling inferiority complex.
Yeah. It kind of follows the
enemy's
theme of
gay
the other
while
one.
actually being gay.
Honestly, put yourself in Greta's shoes. You just grow up into this, and you're basically being abused. Like she's probably one of the most
mentally abused. Mentally abused.
Like 20% of males are physically abused, and 30% of females are sexually abused. It's nothing new.
We've got Dorsey joining us. Dorsey.
That's right.
I mean, her parents have forced her to believe this.
Dorsey.
What's up, Dorsey?
Fucking crook as a fucking dog.
My favorite band person on DS.
Right. Typical Australian lingo.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Oh, wait till he ain't even started yet.
This COVID kicks your fucking ass, eh?
Oh, boy.
Is it really hot there?
No, I'm just COVID.
You're over it.
Kovice. He's got
I wish you were here, Dorsey. In California, we've got the weirdest weather. The snow is down below like 3,000 feet. It's been raining. It's raining all weekend long.
It's nuts
just
over
We're
there.
overcast. We're overcast.
I may come to Colorado. It'll be fine.
Well, awesome. He'll come back. Oh.
Yeah. How about that weather, huh?
Yeah, California has been under siege with the winter weather. I bought a new pair of flip flops. I haven't worn them yet. Daggone it.
You haven't been able to break those bad boys
Happy.
in.
I legitimately think that things are going to kind of go nuts with the weather. There's a lot of different people just kind of experimenting with
What are you
putting
talking about?
stuff
We're
in the
shitty
air.
overcast weather today.
Oh yeah, she's right. She's right. All the hardwoods where I live are dying.
Oh,
Mhm.
really?
Wait, are you saying that
Oh,
there's
this is
particulates
actually
being put in the
happening.
air?
They're
flooded like crazy.
yeah, weather constructing weather, basically doing
Sure.
different things. I can't remember where it was.
You mean
but,
cloud seeding?
I'm not sure.
Deeper than cloud
I think it's-
seeding.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
kind of all we have.
No, you're not talking about the chemtrail stuff, are you?
Not chemtrails, no.
No.
I'll talk about
Okay. We
Private
All right.
company that's putting basically doing weather
All you gotta do is
manipulation.
do a
in some
soil
way.
test.
I forget what what it is.
do a soil test. There you
Oh,
go.
right. Yeah.
There's
I
never
mean,
been that
I've heard
much,
about they put
you know,
iodine in the air to make it.
Strontium and aluminum naturally occurring in the soil before. Give me a
No.
break.
Yeah,
Tons of it.
what a trip.
Well, yeah, but you can chelate it out if you want. It's easy.
Hey, SJ. So, shill the thing for the bus.
Shill the thing for the
Oh
bus.
yeah, we saw you cooking today. Congratulations, you have a working kitchen.
Yes, I have a working everything. Now everything is working. I can live in the bus. Like it's a real home on wheels, and I'm really stoked about it.
Congrats.
So thank you. Thanks. It's been a really big dream of mine because I'm a gypsy soul. So I've got my wagon now. That's the ship. I think I want to call it an airship. Should I put this poll out to the community? What are we
There
going to
you
call
go.
this?
Airship
Magical.
works. Airship
Yeah.
It's a road
I like
ship.
airship because it's like the airship's going to drop,
Mama was a rolling stone.
Like an earth van, like an earth ship, but an earth van.
Is it
Good to see another bus driver in
is
Hexicans.
it gonna have a crypto related name or just a name?
Yeah, it's a
That's
rolling
the
pirate ship.
TBD. TBD, yeah, rolling pirate ship. I don't know. I like the airship because if we're going up into the right, so I gotta be able to rocket ship.
Just wait till the bus becomes a fucking art car at Burning Man. Now,
Call it the magic carpet.
No, see, that's the thing is I think I will utilize it for the next year or two on and off, and then I kind of want to auction it off, and maybe it'll end up because I don't know if I want to take it to the burn. Maybe not this year, but the year after.
the captain's coming to the burn this year. This is gonna be glorious.
Nice. That's excellent.
I already rented a monster RV for
It's
it.
going to be glorious. My dearest the first onboard Cosmic. Now, SJ and Side Effects are my generals, but my dearest of onboard is Cosmic, and he kind of does the thing at the burn, so it's going to be glorious.
Yeah. I need to do a regional first for sure.
SJ and I got interviewed on Cosmic Cowboys show recently, huh?
Yeah.
You were on there. No.
Jonathan's my boy.
Yeah, it was
Look
excellent.
at
I
that
love that he's
green
creating
candle.
content
That
now.
green candle is really pretty right now.
It's large. It's large as fuck.
Speaking of, as the candles turn green and get larger, I think our community, obviously our community is going to grow as well. And
Well, when everything else is taking a crap on itself, and the only thing that's green is head, that's kind of how it works,
Right. Hey, and Whale done told you. He done told you. What Hex is the goat.
Dude, have we seriously printed 7 straight hourly green candles on this chart?
Whales done told you. That's what I was going to say is Whales, Larry, Kool-Aid. Do you guys inspired me to do what I am doing? And I want to inspire everyone out there that there's not enough of us. There will never be enough of us. So if you want to this is a great opportunity. If someone wants to come in the green room, I will gladly leave so that someone else can have a chance to come up here and talk to the community.
We still got more room. We still got one more to go.
Nice. Excellent.
I mean, I'll drop off or you drop off,
But
John.
I just want to encourage
we
people
still got
because, some people may think, oh, there's so many people covering so many different things within our ecosystem. It's all taken care of, but it's not. You have your own personal perspective. Bring it. Bring it. Candles are turning green. It's happening.
Accurate.
Good to see you, Georgia. By the way, good to see you, Georgia.
Yeah,
Last year-
Georgia.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Last year on Whale Show, he and I were even talking about it. Whatever your specialty is, do something with it. Whether you write,
There
whether
you
you
go.
stream, whether you do a
Yep.
podcast.
Yep.
I pointed out on Whale Show over a year and a half ago. I said, if you're a trout fisherman that makes his own flies, start the Hex fucking trout fishing show. I mean, we need you.
Yes.
Do it.
Yes.
100.
Yep.
We need
For
we need
real.
everybody out here doing it. We need more conspiracy theorists. We need more activists on all
Every
sides of the
tradesman,
fence.
every special
tradesman,
tradesman there
yeah.
is. We need a mason, a carpenter, a finished carpenter. Like,
Yep.
do it. Bring it.
And if you don't know how to like do it professionally, there are a few of us out here that will teach you. Like that is what I do from the
Part
underground
of it
side.
too, right? Skill trade and teaching one another. I mean, we all do this because we love what we're doing.
Each one teach
So-
one.
100.
Yes, sir.
So Crypto
Yes,
Surfer,
ma'am.
there was a bank
Period.
run that was pegged to some USDC, and this bank run is creating some issues because of that, and because whenever an issue happens that creates a bank run, the bank run itself perpetuates even more bank run, and you get lines and you get people running and scared, and it's a snowball effect is what happens. The real problem, might not be the cut might not be as deep, but the reaction afterwards is what causes it, and then it spreads like a freaking disease.
And this is going to be different than 2008 because we had so much regulation change after.
Well, in 2008 wasn't a bank run. That
Yeah,
wasn't
for
really
sure.
a bank run. That was a bank
They
fail.
just printed money. They printed money until it went away. That's basically.
Yep.
Well, they stole money back then. It wasn't really them
Correct.
printing money back then. There was no printing going on. This printing is this latest round of printing. I mean, they've always been printing. Don't get me wrong. This problem that we're having with printing now is not.
It's a different kind of printing. It's not the
happened.
printing that you're thinking
It was a
about. That's
different-
all that
they were a
is.
little
Yeah,
more
yeah, that's
different.
really what
They
you
were a
mean
little
to
more
say.
Printing before, but now they're
No,
doing
I'm talking about
It was a
after.
biolab. It was a biolab.
After 2008, they did QE, and then they did QE 2 and
quantitative
3, 4, 5.
But they have
Yeah,
different
yeah,
names for the same thing.
yeah, yeah.
But
That's what they
2008 was
did.
they
They
faked the funk on
framed
the
it.
funky dunk is what they did, and
Yeah.
we all got shafted.
So,
Yeah, and
so
That's the
Now
idea.
they've run out of room to do the QE. They can't do QE, so now they're going to do bail-ins. That's what they've talked about. The federal.
That's the idea.
this was step one.
Yeah.
This was just step one.
So if you
I
have
paid off my loans.
money in the bank, you should probably put it in, take it to cash, put it in crypto, do something with it.
Hex is
I
looking
like-
really cheap right now. It's not
Yeah,
about
Hex
you.
looks.
Yeah.
I'm really liking. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I think I like prepaid debit cards, like my Crypto.com debit card. I like that a lot because it's prepaid. How are they going to take away a prepaid debit
Because
card?
it's got a switch on it, my brother. Don't forget, it's got a switch on it. Never forget that. All these prepaid cards, there's a switch on them. It's really like putting your
So-
money in an exchange.
What about those cards that are connected to your MetaMask? What about those?
MetaMask has got switches on it.
Oh yeah. Well, what I'm saying is that the banks are
If
failing.
there's a switch that it could happen, that means that
You
somebody
hope it
can
happens.
flip that thing.
But the banks are failing. So I'm saying you don't want to have your money in a checking account or a savings account or a something like that.
Think of it like Pulp Fiction, where he says, "Put the fucking bad motherfucker wallet in the basket."
that
That is
my
exactly
movie,
what's
baby.
happening right now.
is
right?
that is my movie.
Has anyone
Yeah,
actually?
you know it, Wales. You know it. But but that is what is happening because the
100%.
dichotomy of how that's binds onto other things. Because what is it? Wallace isn't a bitch, but that all binds back into the wallet that it's a bad motherfucker.
Has anyone actually been, using the Flashbots RPC endpoint? Because I tried to use that and my transactions wouldn't go through, but then I just switched to the Ethereum network, and then it goes through. And
I've had a lot of failed and stuck transactions myself lately, and I've had to do the little nonce, fix on that. I got a question actually.
Wait, what's the
Lauren's-
nonce fix?
you got to force the transaction through by selecting variable nonce. And what you have to do is whatever your last transaction was, that's what you have to set your nonce at, and it'll force that last transaction through. So just send yourself, for example, 0 Ethereum, and that if you set the nonce, it'll force it through.
It'll give you a gravitas, right? Again, I haven't played with it. What it does is it gives you a 0 allocation of 000, so that way it allocates it and then verifies it as it goes.
Larry, I got a question for you. Actually, something I noticed this week. Now we're avoiding Infura, right, by making the switch, most of us, to Flashbots. I noticed when I went to advanced settings in MetaMask, which, by the way, everybody, in case you don't know, MetaMask is owned by JP Morgan. There's a setting in MetaMask that is a default Infura setting, that's outside of the network. I forget what it is. It's something like a asset price API aggregator setting or something, but that's default Infura. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't connect your wallet to anything without it engaged. Do you know what it is I'm referring to?
I know what you're talking about. I haven't fucked with it because I don't fuck with any of my legacy wallets, but I know what you're talking about. So move forward. What do you got?
I'm just saying, I don't think there's an end around on this Infura thing.
Well, what you need to do is at the immediate creation of your identity,
with MetaMask,
at that point, you change it before you do anything. And at that point, you have set the parameters that allow you to do what you need to do, regardless of that. But because it's de facto, it's like running on 87 gasoline versus like 91% gasoline. Okay. So you need to set that variable and know that it's there, just not like filling your car up with diesel and being ignorant that the fact that like a green handle is gas or diesel, whereas anything else is gasoline, but you have 3 choices there.
Yeah. I mean, today it's all just been a big push. It's been like whatever. But now that Pulse Chain portends, like those of us who are getting Pulse Chain and had the sacrifice participation, it's been long since that it's time to get super serious.
I always forget about that. We're gonna be so rich. Damn.
I forget about the duplicate.
We forgot about the duplicates too. Don't forget the duplicates.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about the dupes. I was just thinking about Pulse Chain by his damn self, not even Pulse X.
Oh yeah,
for real.
Well, remember, like Wales, when it was you, me, and Access, and we talked about on the when fucking Nixon took away the gold standard. Access said 2 sons of T-shares is actually having 2 different gravities binded upon each other. That upon a wedge of a bridge of 2 different L0s or L1s is dynamic as fuck. That's more important than spot price of the value to get on the T-share train.
It reminds me of The Richest Man in Babylon, right? Because all the imagery that's used in that book is about having sons or slaves that are working for you, and then having sons or slaves of their own. A part of all you earn. What's he say? A part of all you earn is yours to keep. And you throw the multiplier on that, and that's what we're looking at. In this how brilliant was now, man,
to take the power of dumping away from you when Richard did. We were at the top and we all sacrificed. He really saved a lot of people from themselves. With that.
And even changing the fork from BSC to Ethereum 2.0 as it did, as that model moves forward, out of talking about engines and multiplying. You're correct. It's a blessing in disguise. But to answer your question, Thoth, just make sure you change all the parameters, and then from there make a new wallet off of those parameters when you install your MetaMask, and then you should be okay, theoretically.
Yeah. And you were going to show me some tricks about encryption versus hardware.
You're still rated. You have my phone number. Anyone that has my phone number can call me day or night.
Yeah.
We can go through those trainings again.
My brother.
Get the homework done first.
Good man.
Cheers, brother.
Your homework. I'm glad I did my homework. I really am. It's worth it, y'all. Spend the time. I spent hours listening to some of the people here. Hours. Hundreds of them.
Careful with that, dear.
Wait a minute.
I mean,
wouldn't it be better to like just have a
there's a point where you start to fill yourself with the things that you probably shouldn't. But anyway, I like to call it the shopping cart approach. Listen to what we
it
say.
never
and
stops.
put it
I
in.
mean, I
Education never
haven't.
stops.
I mean,
You don't need everything in the grocery store, just your basket full.
I'm thankful I've gone back to work because I was just taking too much in. After 4 months off
There's
work.
it's a season, right? It was a season, right?
Mhm.
You should do as
Consume
much
and then
fiat
create.
work as you
Consume.
can
It's a
right now.
cycle. Consume and create.
I was saying you should do as much fiat as you can right now to inject
bear
it in,
market's the time
because
to do
once
it.
it's in, you can do what you want with it. You can obfuscate it, you can move it, you can hide it, you can wrap it, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
So there is
I like
a
how
simple way you could generate more fiat. So a lot of banks have cash back for opening bank accounts with them. So if you work and you have a direct deposit, then you can use that to generate free cash, and then that's worth anywhere from a few $100s to $10,000. Some people have done that, and then other people have. If you have credit cards, they have cash back, and that doesn't count as income. Whereas the cash back from the banks does count as income, but you don't have to pay that tax until later. So it's another way to generate fiat for
You also
whatever you want to do.
Self-directed 401ks, and then at that point, that 401k can do whatever the fuck it wants.
No, not financial advice.
Yeah, like
Not
when I
financial
need my money, I put it into my debit card on crypto.com, and I just keep it in my in my hot wallet when I don't need it, and that way I'm protected from any sort of banking bullshit that happens.
Hey,
And
Danny boy,
go
ahead.
I think if they change the amount in my prepaid debit card, that's totally different than taking the whole bank or like canceling my checking account, canceling my savings. Like that's been.
I just got a
pre-planned.
notification from Cash App today. I'm allowed to slam 25K in there a day now. I don't know where that came from, but I'll take
Yeah,
it.
but can you actually transfer out of Cash App? It was a thing.
That's a good question.
Yeah, they have crypto, but you can't actually get the crypto.
Yeah, same thing that Robinhood tried to do, but Robinhood eventually through the whole Doji.
Oh, so it's like a ticket representing crypto as opposed to
it's a
fungible
wrapped
crypto.
on wrap
Yeah,
fiat based.
they keep your shit.
Icky. That's
Yeah,
stupid
they're
shit, though.
going to
Like the banks,
rehypothecate
they
that.
all want to keep your
I'd
shit.
be testing that. I'll be testing that.
They
Always
want
do
you
a
to
stinger
use their
for whatever
platforms
you
and
wanna
their banks
do.
and everything, but they don't want you to take it away.
To leave. Don't ever leave. Please
ever
don't leave me. Danny Boy brings up a good point. He used 125 gigabytes per month watching Hex content over the bear market. I had this thought the other day, and I'd love to hear the panel and the
Gosh,
chat.
is there that much content left in the bear market? It looks like everybody's gone inside. It was like the neighborhood fight where most of the kids went and hid.
No, it depends
You
on.
can come
if
out
they're
now, guys.
120
All the asses have been beat. Come on.
The
Back
point
out
is
of your
this:
houses.
has there
Yeah,
ever
no,
been
hold
a
on, Cappy.
community
It
in
depends
any
if
asset
120p
ever?
or 1080p.
Has there ever been any community in any asset ever in history that has been this active and loud and enthusiastic in history ever as the Hexican community?
No.
I'd say
That
no.
has never been paid. That has never been paid.
Never been paid.
That
Isn't
actually
that
knows
nuts?
how to do
Fuck
stuff that's
me, man.
professionally
Wow.
done.
Unless
Most organic, in your face
within-
community, period. End story, period.
Wow.
Correct.
Maybe Bitcoin in the early days.
No. Bitcoin.
Those
the early
guys were
days didn't
pussies.
even have a network to do it.
Not even.
You
It's not on
two
YouTube
Wait a second,
women
Richard Hart
there.
isn't paying you guys? He's only paying me.
Yeah, right. What? Wait a minute.
They were
What?
they were pussy basement dwelling bitches is what those beginning and right now, and guess what those little pussy, and here's why I can tell you, because they're fucking snitching right now. They're snitching. They're out there advocating for regulation against other cryptos so that they will be the only one and the other cryptos will get regulated.
Yeah,
out
like
of
those
existence.
little Ripple bitches,
Little
man.
Bitches. All you maxi motherfuckers out there are a bunch of little snitching bitches. And you know what happens? Snitches get stitches, baby. We're coming after you.
Talk shit,
Coming
get
after
bit. What?
We're coming after you.
Well, the next terms are staking and mining right now. That's what's going on right now. And we're looking at it in real goddamn time, because that's the only way that they can attack DeFi is to take out the foundation on what it's built on. We're seeing it in real time. But once they lose that battle, it's just like gravity. It's game
They
over,
can't
man.
win because there's no human beings to go after. There's
Yeah, I know.
nothing to shut down. There's
Agreed.
no switches.
Agreed.
They're fighting a useless battle. Now they're gonna make
That's
all kinds
good.
of noise, but when it comes down to it, the regulators are going, "What the fuck are we gonna regulate? They have
She's
to
so
come after
ahead.
somebody. We can't turn the internet off. We can't stop this shit from happening.
Yeah, I have a theory that the Howey test is there because that's the only thing they can regulate. Like there's no, if it passes the Howey test, de facto you can regulate it. If it doesn't pass the Howey test, it's impossible to
Yeah, but
regulate
they've been
it.
moving
So-
goalposts forever. I mean,
Well,
when things don't
let's
work
not
out
realize
for them,
they
they
said
just
from way
change
back
fucking
when.
definitions. Let's face
But
it.
they'll
you
never
know?
net DeFi. Real true DeFi. They'll never be able to put it in the net and take it out. They can't. They can't stop it.
Well, it's the same thing with fax machine maximalism, analog landline maximalism,
Oh, the fax machine.
dial-up
Here it is.
maximalism, and then everything else. You can't go back to carrier pigeon maximalism once we have fiber optic internet. You can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You can't. You
Yeah, I
don't
said
go
it
back
today
to
on
having
Twitter.
one wheel and calling it a wheel. You
It's
need four
garbage,
wheels
and
to
it
make
takes a
flat.
Rube Goldberg
Did you-
machine to make Bitcoin work. You literally,
guys-
they're making shit that that's ridiculous to try and make Bitcoin work. And like,
Did
when-
you guys see the?
look, I could pay for Bitcoin right now. And they show a little gal at the store using her Bitcoin wallet to purchase a product, and oh look, the transaction went through, which is bullshit because we know none of that shit works.
Yeah,
like that.
22 minutes later.
Oh, look, I'm using the Lightning Network right now. Look, I just purchased my cup of coffee with my.
Did you guys see the CFTC said that Ethereum's a commodity?
No, that's
No?
not
Oh, that's not.
Oh,
the
we're at 0.069, baby. Oh,
It said
look,
that
look at
today.
it move. Look at it move, baby.
Damn. That was
Oh
quick.
my lord!
That's a magic number right there, baby.
Pump.
That
Way to go,
monthly
Hex.
chart that
Yin
actually
yang,
Way
yin
to
yang.
punch him in the mouth, Hex. Punch him in the mouth.
I saw a good punch him.
Let his hands coming in 3, 2, 1.
Bye.
Yeah, Bitcoin people are just funny. They really are.
They're becoming the laughing stock at this point. It's starting to.
I just like to watch
really
Max Kaiser all coked out saying $300,000 Bitcoin by January. You heard it here first.
Fuck you, Elon! Fuck you, Elon! Oh!
That's funny.
He got me into
that's
pork
the
and I
reason why,
lost.
like all
you know,
healthcare
well,
has to deal
probably-
with
yeah,
maximum
that's a good lesson.
with the IRS. They have to deal with their analog bullshit because they didn't upgrade.
What's for
Some
dinner?
people are
Spaghetti.
so obvious, you know, man. Some people are so obvious, right?
Hiding in plain sight.
Yeah,
Hiding in plain
thinking they're hiding anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, that bitch Bankless. Who was I talking to? We were on a stream this week.
Oh,
That Bankless
that-
guy who was crying.
Come on, man.
Who was crying on the air?
Why?
Like,
why
why is
don't-
Richard Hart so cruel? We were just trying to do something nice. Like that bitch says he owns Hexicans.
He
Don't
said he dunked on us the other day.
Don't let me
I'm
get
not
you
gonna
out in the
dunk on
street,
them
homie.
often.
Don't let it happen.
I need that
Oh,
clip
no.
for something.
Oh my God. Oh,
He
no.
dunked on us. He dunked on us.
Oh, he dunked on us. Oh my God, he about to get 8.
Yo, you know what's sad is that I get upset at y'all like giving it light, but sometimes that shit is so funny I can't even get upset.
Thank
man.
you.
This is one of those points in time where I can't even get upset. What is
The
wrong with
memes,
these people?
the memes that cat gets is so funny, man. It's just hilarious.
Yo,
Yo,
you saw what I did to him on one of my thumbnails, right? Remember when I was doing Free Ball Friday?
Yeah,
And I put him over on the angry girl
Yo,
side looking at my
the
nuts.
crying-
Oh.
The crying was grade A acting. I mean,
And then Johnny had the cup underneath it. Shit.
Oh my God.
Yo,
They're all
Funny.
faking the funk, man.
I
And
got
they're,
it.
they're,
Yeah,
they're
man.
all trying to ride on the coattails for clicks, likes, and views. That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
It's like that kid, that cat on what was it, the moon gang stuff. The DCC was over there with that cat John or whatever his name was. It was calling Hex. He's on all the Hex is a scam now because everything that he said. Hex is 1,000% a scam coin. 1,000%. With his fucking dumbass.
Dude, I didn't realize how close he was to Charlie till we were all out in Vegas and then realized that, oh my God, you actually have friend value and you weren't listening to your friend with real metrics and values. You're a
He
fucking
lost.
idiot.
He could have got into Hex in the beginning.
No, you only have to get in. You should have done your homework. It literally, we don't teach people how to buy. We teach people why. Please never find me. Please. I will not tell you what to buy shit, but I will tell you metrics and mechanics that actually work. I don't give a fuck what you do with that. Like
There it is, Captain.
What's that?
the free ball thumbnail that features our boy. He's up there in the top on the left.
Wait, who's the guy in the middle?
There he is. There he is. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm gonna get tagged on this one. I know.
You know what I just realized?
In his pocket, sir.
You know what I just realized is that everybody that sacrificed for Polstay and then they got really mad for a little bit about sacrificing so much, they probably spent a lot of time researching Richard Hart after that and thinking, like, is he a scammer or not? And then they're like, wow, this guy's the smartest guy in the whole fucking the whole system.
You'd hope.
And then,
hope.
yeah,
that's all we got. I'm not
Smurfs.
banking on that, bro. That's insane. What kind of drugs are you on?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a
don't
perfect.
Well, he is going to
cocktail.
Colombia.
Well, there you go.
no, I don't drink,
think
I don't
it's
smoke,
possible.
I don't do
I think
anything.
gonna turn around.
Soberest guy here.
Well, your
No, you're not.
imagination is very vivid, if that's the case.
You're not the soberest, but you may be
I
sober.
mean, you don't think a single person was like, "Where's my money go?" I'm gonna go look at his Twitter and like, wow, he's
Sure.
really smart.
no,
You don't think
100%.
nobody did that?
Again, I agree with the Wild SJ. I would hope so. That's the best outcome.
Oh yeah, I'd say it's not like maybe it's like 5 or 10%, but
Yeah,
you
I think
know,
it's low,
I-
like you do. I think it's low. I don't think it's high.
Yeah.
Because
No
that's
one
I
watches fucking
think
homework- their
new
homework
new
quiz.
people will come in, and
Right.
we'll see this different persona or projection of him. But yeah, no, it's all true. That's
I
all-
like-
I mean,
like
if
what you
I
tweeted
thought
about it,
I got
actually.
scammed, and like a year later goes by, I'd be like, I'm gonna go check out this scammer, see what he's doing, and then I'd be like, holy shit, he was right about everything. What the fuck?
It's 100% right. So
Yeah,
let me
scammer.
address this real quick. So the Perusa, Crypto King.
Smurfs.
So what about the highest of Smurfs? So
That's
there
funny.
is
yeah.
there is an update. So let me figure out how I can tell you this, but let's just say things have taken another progression this week into the film coming out. So we are moving forward. There are things happening, and good news. That's all I can say.
Good.
Nice.
Reading the
Got
chats
silent
here.
after that.
I went to. Okay.
Jesus, that
Valiant Fran. I know he's talking about the cry guy up there. That dude is a pipsqueak for sure. He calls pipsqueak.
Dude,
Attaboy.
Brand would own him in a day. Like Brand would fucking slay that guy.
That's a funny thing, though. We've all probably observed it or said it before. It's like the newest entrant into Hexico with the most remedial amount of information can pretty much lay out the most expert Bitcoin maximalist with a minimal
Yeah.
amount of effort.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
It
What?
needs
Guy-
to-
All eyes on Hexicans come bull run. You can just say that, man. When bull run comes, all eyes are going to be on Hexicans
Because we know what we're fucking doing, sir. We know
gonna be about
exactly
DeFi.
what we're fucking doing.
Well, we front ran this thing. We front
know.
ran it. I mean, from Uniswap to Hex to Pulse and PulseX, we front ran the
To
whole
actually
thing.
be able to have webcams, to actually be able to know how to use vernacular, to actually be able to link to sites, to have people that have websites that have all of the utility to what Axe is talking about with Chris Man or what we're helping out with fucking Dev Huey. We have the most liquid, intelligent, and throughput amount of community, period. In fact, there's so much you forget about where it came from before and what we have now. It's too much.
No, never too much. Bring it.
I mean, I remember the days when Wales had a fan, and that fan was almost as large when he like, slept or his light flick.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you mean by fan?
Oh, you need to go back. You need to go back in time. Do the way up machine backwards. Wales fan was larger than his lighter flick.
So I got this computer and I used to keep it running like 24/7. I never let it go to sleep. And
So
eventually,
it didn't like it.
yeah, and the fans were running like, you know, it was running high speed and you can hear it.
It's
And
trying to
eventually,
mitigate the issue.
yeah, I decided to put it in sleep mode, so you know it went away. You don't hear it anymore, but I'm still using the same machine actually. So
You just leveled out your stuff. You can come to my
yeah.
place and see my rig set up there, Wales.
Oh man. But yeah, this is interesting times. You know, you guys are about to witness some history that has been forthcoming for a while. Been
Yeah, we're
talking
going to be
about
part
it
of
for a
something.
while. Yeah, I'm not even talking about the crypto stuff. I'm talking about what's about to happen in legacy markets.
Can
Like
you talk more about that?
everybody is like very relaxed right now. They don't understand what's about to come.
It's like the paradigm of like taking like the network. What is it? I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. Also with Dylan Thomas, go into that good night, rage against the dying of the light, and then from there, oh god, I had another one, but I lost it. But it's an epoch of a perfect storm that we're sitting at right now.
Yeah.
Word
you,
on the
make
street
some
is that we
predictions,
just breached
Wales?
the 7 cent mark, guys. We
Yeah,
just
no,
breached
I'm watching it run, dude. It's fucking wild as
the
fuck.
DS pump.
Well-
we used to call it the DS
Well,
pump.
that doesn't mean very much. What we gotta look, if you look at the Hex ETH chart, we're running too. So I'm excited about that. But
Well, the reason why is
USDC
because we own
chart,
liquidity pools. We actually are, out of all community, ideally, large value whales, sharks, and people with value that aren't trying to play the system to play the system know how to do it correctly. They can open up their own liquidity pool. They can use impermanent loss to basically have their cutout more than slippage. They know how to run limit orders. They know more than pressing the fat finger buy bot thing on Robinhood. We teach people all of it and have for years.
I mean, I'm seeing a problem with. I'm just speaking my mind, but if you're providing liquidity to USDC Hex pair, you might want to think about taking it out because half of that value is going to disappear, or might disappear. I don't know.
By the way, Cabby Dorsey's in the room. He wants your permission to come aboard.
There he is.
Wales,
Welcome
what do you
aboard,
think is going to happen in the legacy financial market?
It's about to unravel because it has to.
I can tell you one thing. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
This just the little tidbit that I know, because I believe this plays into what you're about to talk about. I've got a friend that works with the USDA, and the price of beef is about to skyrocket. It's going to get real cheap. It's going to get real cheap, right? It should be going down right now because the cows are being slaughtered, and there's not going to be much. They're slaughtering younger and younger animals right now because of something that's going on with the grain. That's real. That's really happening.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're doing a multi-prong attack.
Well, if you can't feed them, you got to kill them.
Yeah. It's, I talk about how often I took the time to listen to different people in this community, and it was really great for me to hear a lot of the things that I had thought about that many people that I know don't see that part, right? There's something that they're just watching the TV, they're just watching the tube, right? And this community has such a large group of amazingly minded individuals. So it's great to be a part of it.
5.31.
Awesome seeing this in real life. And I digress. That's just that point.
USDC is down 5.31% right now.
Better go out and get as much rice and dried beans as you can.
Those 5-gallon buckets of chili mac are starting to look real good right now.
Wales, you were saying what you thought was going to happen, like specifically?
Oh, so okay. So we got to take this all the way back to how it started, right? This is all tied back to really Rona, right? And then if you even want to look further back, it does honestly go all the way back to the great financial crisis of 2008, because what's happened in previous crises never occurred here. We didn't have bankruptcies. You didn't have the typical cleanup of the economy. What ended up happening is that they essentially nullified the bankruptcy process. And as a result, they created a secondary zombie-like economy, right? You got the economy that flourishes, and then you got the economy that's just like there. Like, why the fuck do they even exist? There's plenty of places that we've all gone that we think that, because you don't understand how this business makes any money with the services they provide. And those are the businesses that are just the zombie businesses, because you better believe they're not making any money. How could they be? The business is a function of their cash flow, you know, and that service that you receive, you can tell the difference from a good business and a bad business. It's really not hard. And unfortunately, the government has gone out of its way since that point in time to perpetuate the desire for individuals to for individuals to rely on the government. Right? This is what all these loans are about. Small business this, minority that, blah, 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 blah. It's all a masquerade. Because at the end of the day, it's all really just a carrot on a stick so that you can reach out for it and just depend on whatever they want you to do so that you can get that loan. That's ultimately all it boils down to. You know,
they did that last time.
And you can talk, and Captain can talk about it, because I was young at the time. But remember how they were always talking about mortgages and Americans owning a home? Remember that shit back in the day?
They were selling the dream
back in the day. Hell yeah, I remember that.
They were selling the dream. We want you. We want all of you to have a home. So here's what we're going to do.
In reality, that was the first Rona. When you really, really think about it.
Yes. And they were able to. Oh man. I was just talking about it earlier.
Yeah,
when you look at it, Wells, they loaned all these people that they shouldn't have loaned money to. They took money or gave money to people that had already paid like 3/4 or 75 or 90% of their home down already. So they pushed that money out into the system, pumped it all up, got all the economy, all the product, everything was going like crazy. And then nobody can pay off those mortgages when they started increasing those interest rates, because they were all adjustable interest rates, and they were liar loans because those people couldn't afford those homes. They couldn't afford them, and they just had to state their income. It was called a stated income loan. And then when it all failed, they said, okay, we took the money and the value out of that home. We took the home. Then we went and evicted them all, took the property, and then we got a bailout because we failed, because the banks failed. Yeah. So they got all that money, and then they sold the house again.
Yeah.
They doubled on a double, and then they got away scot-free, and everybody else was holding the bag. And the people that could least afford to be holding the bag were the ones that held the bag.
Oh yeah, you want to know what's interesting? For about three months, I tried to work in real estate, but in distressed real estate. And the reason I say tried is because I wasn't smart enough to realize I had to be a better judge of character at the time. And even though I was bringing in deals, they weren't getting closed, so I wasn't getting paid. So it was 3 months of waste of time, and that could have literally changed my life. But anyways, point is at the time. What you saw were a lot of people with these mortgages, because I had to read these mortgages, find out where these people lived and all this stuff, right? You had to know this information. And this is all public information. In most places, you can find this stuff online, who owns what and where.
Yep.
And you would see just, $700,000 houses in 2005, 6, 7.
Yep.
You don't see them prices today. Think about that.
Yep. My house was worth more in 2007 before the crash than it is at the top of this market. Even the top of this market, when it hit the top in California, we have a big fluctuation in our housing market. We still didn't hit those. Still didn't hit those highs. We came close this time, but we didn't hit those same highs. And then we dropped all the way back down. Like, we lost more than, I would say it was probably about 60% of our value.
If you guys own any USDC anywhere, you should probably go get rid of it like any means
You
necessary.
said that twice now.
Yeah,
You're trying to
just-
create a bank run.
But I'm just seeing the Circle tweeted again that 25% of their reserves were in Silicon Valley Bank.
Interesting. They said less than 10% earlier.
Well, I
Nice.
mean, that's what Stoic is doing, which
Yeah,
is so
I don't
dynamic.
know.
Is burn in and burn out.
Hey, I tried to warn everybody, so good fucking luck.
No, it had nothing to do with being in California. It happened to the whole country, Eshtar. But you're right. We are having a net loss of population, and we can't lose enough people to
And
make
that,
me
that,
happy.
that was the
That's for
worst
damn
part
sure.
of those loans too. The worst part of those loans, they were giving out people that, don't have enough life in them to last the
Yeah.
loan.
Exactly.
it comes to
And they didn't realize that interest rate was going to creep up so
Yeah.
high on them, and it just buried them. It drowned them.
There comes to a point where you come of age. If you're renting, you're better off just keep on renting.
Yeah.
Than to take out a mortgage, because you won't last that mortgage.
I'm sorry, but I've owned enough homes to actually pay a whole mortgage off in time, and we know what mortgages are 30 years, right? So anyway, but it's the biggest racket in the whole fucking planet. You never pay your mortgages off. They're always, some way, somehow, the little man is going to have to mortgage against their home to make it through the next cycle or whatever happens, and you end up refinancing. You never end up paying off your homes for the
Same
most
as
part.
student loan debt. Same thing. It's the next level up.
Yeah.
Just paid
Oh,
off my
had
debt.
I
student loan
had I
debt.
known about Hex the day I sold my house, had I known.
Oh my!
I mean, I did
I'm so
scream at you.
sorry.
I did scream at you for a good long time.
It was
Oh.
after after
Motley did well.
yeah. But goodness gracious. It's all right. I still did good. I still did good.
You show up and you get shit done, Miss General. That's the whole thing. It's you're the example about showing up and getting shit done.
Oh,
Why I
hold on,
love
let
the
me put
fuck out of you.
Lawrence, how kind and sweet. I appreciate it. It's my pleasure. I love this community. I do.
I know it. I know it.
So you guys got to understand that these fake stores of value, like the U.S. dollar, USDC, and
T-bonds.
all these representative made up stores of value, because this is the problem. The problem is that it's all good until something
ain't.
fucked up happens.
Until it ain't.
Exactly. Until it ain't. And
It's
at
all
that-
good until you get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, and then at that point, it's too late. You already got punched in the mouth. Ain't that right? It's already too late. So,
And those of us who are not in charge don't know when the punch is coming. Because it's a sucker punch.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
sucker punch.
always a sucker punch. Always. I've been screaming for years. And it's like, you wasn't saying shit, bro. Shut up. You know, that nobody cares because people want to see it. And that's the fucked up part. They don't want to do the work to see it coming. They just want to see it.
The OA is in a wallet, guys. It's not in a bank. It's in a wallet, meaning that it don't
What's
have
the
nothing to do with
difference?
any of that.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's a funny
And
question.
considering the way that Richard has been tweeting tonight about what's going on, he's got his finger on the pulse of something that's going on here. So I
Whoa.
wouldn't be too concerned about what our old boy Rich is doing with maybe that sack address value.
Me
I
and Rich
wouldn't
are
worry
the
too-
opposite. Me and Rich are the opposite. When that motherfucker was going down, I was screaming like a madman, talking all kinds of shit. Now that the price is going up, I don't got a damn thing to say. Your ass missed it. If you didn't
Hey,
hear me
Cap,
crying
man,
for the past
I
year,
gotta-
fuck off.
Yeah.
Go
Hey,
ahead,
Cap, I
Doc.
got to say something real quick before I jet, man.
Yeah.
It was, believe it or not, it was actually 1 year ago, not today, but day before. It was 1 year ago that I met a lot of you guys. Exactly the anniversary now it is. SJ, I met you, Captain. I met you, Marco, DCC, Balliot Brand. I met a lot of Hexicans face to face for the first time exactly 366 days ago, right from this moment, guys. It was when I had driven cross country. I had started something. I called it Thawchild's Mission. This was going to be my own little adventure, like, say, a crypto spar book or like what Captain and DCC are doing now, except I did it solo. And I drove across the continent, 6,600 miles by myself. It didn't work out like I wanted as much on the onboarding tip, and I ended up leaving Mendocino County late. We won't talk about why. She was beautiful. But I got into Las Vegas just in time for the Naga Bow Mansion party at the Hex conference last year.
That was a good one.
And it was pretty. I got the pictures to prove all of this. It was a really beautiful moment. I had landed at Rainmaker's crib, of all people. He and Dr. J put me up. I had driven 17 straight hours to get there. I got 2 hours of sleep. Wales only texts me, and he goes, "What the fuck is going on out there?" And I roll over, and I was like, where am I? Out there. I was like, oh, wait, I'm out there. I'm in Las Vegas right now. I turn on YouTube, and there's this girl. I'd never seen her before. She's wearing a doggy hat. And I started talking to her, and I said, well, she's kind of cute. She sounds smart, but who the fuck is she? Why she got that fucking hat on? She's talking to Richard. Who is this? Oh, okay. Shut off the thing. Take my shower. Go to the party. I walk in the doors of the Naga Bow party, and the fucking girl wearing the fucking hat is standing right the fuck in front of me wearing a white dress. I felt like I was in the fucking Twilight Zone. That was a year ago yesterday that I met you, my dear. The pleasure was mine. Captain, a year ago yesterday that I met you, sir. A lot of you good folks. So, viva la Hexico. Onward and upward.
All right, my man. Have a great evening.
Brand, you were faded, man. You were tired. I met Cosmic Cowboy, too. He was hilarious.
He's
the best. I said, who hired a silver Teletubby for this? I told him.
Silver Teletubby.
I told him. But anyway, I love you guys. Viva la Hexico. And maybe we'll still, the world will still be standing tomorrow morning, huh?
Yeah.
It should be.
At least for us. At least for us, it will be.
Hexicans unaffected at this point.
Motherfucker might be at 10 cents by Monday. I mean, this thing gonna be crazy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the bank run has this is just the beginning of the bank run. I mean, we're like on the cutting edge of what's happening right now.
This is just the start today.
Well, famous called 10 cents last week.
When we make that meme that says Hex user unaffected while people are shooting each other out in the streets. All right. Good night, guys.
All right, my man. Be good. Peace.
Be a reality. That's fucked up.
Like I said, all eyes are going to be on Hexicans. You can just put that Pac song up. All eyes on me.
People are about to be reminded about how this thing works. That's all I know. I ain't got nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh man. Well, with that, everybody, thank you for coming. We're gonna see you all on Monday chatting with the Cabinet. Got special guests coming on, and Wednesday with the famous. We'll see you all. Take care. Thank you for coming.
Peace.
And have a good one. Love you, Brand. Miss you, baby.